because partially we're just waiting for.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We're recording.
Yeah.
So I wanted to clarify that you're not exact. So the town that it's not a town, it's a city. You are currently within a city. It's roughly about the size of, like, you can say, think of either like a big city that your state is currently known for. Obviously New York City, Seattle, like San Francisco, like Miami, things like that. All the the populations are pretty significantly highly dense. That's exactly where you are. You're not exactly in a situation to where you can just leave, like pack up and leave immediately, and then just go to a different place. That would take some time. If you wanted to do that, I would be totally okay with that. It would just depend on what Vi and Tolsmir were doing before I would be okay with you just up and leaving.
Yeah, because like the town we're in though is all dead, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Yeah.
Your current, like, there is activity, obviously, just because the other dreads have come in to kind of basically
Yes.
Men in Black type shit.
Mm.
Where they like essentially what you would imagine with have any of you watched Invincible yet?
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Basically what Cecil does.
Okay.
Okay.
Invincible, it's a really good Amazon show. You should watch it if you get a chance. It is. Oh, I should probably know. Trish, you should probably not watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Trish, don't watch
Do
it.
not.
I realized what I
watch it.
recommended, and so I was like, oh, wait a minute. Wasn't
Yeah.
it Trish that didn't like the gore? Definitely
Yeah,
not.
it's a good show, but it's very, very violent.
Those that have watched it, is it anything like what the TVA does in Loki?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wait. Oh.
Well,
I haven't seen Loki, so I can't.
I actually have seen Loki. I actually have seen Loki. So what you're talking about? I watched it, loved it. It was really cool.
I've only seen bits and pieces.
Really good.
But I will say that Invincible, especially the later episodes, it gets extremely graphic. So.
But I'm talking more like what Cecil does. By the way, he's actually one of my favorite characters of that show. I'm not gonna lie. Cool.
Anyway, so
yeah,
we got the dreads we could interact with, but I can't think of any reason Korak would. So
essentially, some of the things that you noticed if you interacted with society in like the past, let's say 15, 20 years or so, essentially what popped up, one of the things that popped up after a while, D, you know this, is that aeroships came up. So it's something that you... Yeah. It's... I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Airships are definitely something you see. You don't know why they're there. D, you interacted them with a little bit. You interacted with them for a little bit. But for the rest of you, you have no idea why they're here. Most people should know by now that the people responsible for it come from the Wright family. They are a really well-known family across the entirety of the world. If you have ever interacted with society again, like at all, they invented basically flying ships. Whereas some, obviously there would be some that would require you to travel through the water. These ones go through the air just fine.
Speaking about D interacting with them, D would tell the others a basic summary of what D talked about.
Sure.
Not like going into detail, but just like, hey, they're my dread. I met them. They're cool.
Okay.
Also, flying ship, those are a thing now. Huh.
Yeah.
Like, that's my reaction, just, huh. Neat.
Yeah, they're pretty much magical. They're definitely magical things, but you see a whole different variety. You do actually see some adventurers, oddly enough. They look, huh?
They were on the ship.
A little bit, but they're also also like some of them are obviously on some of the ships, interacting with the people on board. From what Dee saw, but there are actually some on the ground. Definitely working to try and coordinate with some of the other groups there. They do seem like also pretty like the type of adventurers you see there are the type that aren't wearing like heavy armor. They're basically the type that are just like now you see them, now you don't. Basically the Batman where like you turn around, he's gone type deal.
Okay.
The edgy rogues and their tragic backstories.
Yes, essentially. But you can definitely tell they are pretty from the equipment that they do have, it is like pretty they are pretty well fitted for their exact jobs, essentially.
I was like, oh, if only you guys came earlier because we used some help. Or the There's something I wanted to get to.
Oh, 1 second. I need to raise your volume a little bit.
I mean, maybe I should bring my laptop closer.
But if you guys want to leave for a little bit and interact with like another town, as long as you guys come back to the main town, I'm not doing anything too crazy.
How
But
far is this town from the next?
So the closest town was the one that you just came from, which was I believe.
Oh wait, was it the demon one?
No, the demon one was the one that they deal with the demons. That was part of this was the outskirts of this of this city. Yes, I believe that would be Sonarul then, right?
Yeah.
Which one, Glass? Can you reiterate what that one was?
It was the one where you briefly ran into Morokias again, and where you met the Slod.
Yes.
And purified the river, and there was also the Mara there, and the IKEA. Yes.
Oh, okay, the one that the one
you had some convertees to Eva's religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one where we find the hospital.
Yes. Where you find the hospital. Yeah, and then yeah, that's essentially one of the reasons. So that would be the closest town to you guys. That was a pretty big town. It was pretty significant. But yeah, essentially, if you want to explore here, I don't mind letting you guys do that. Because there are if there's any groups you wanted to interact with, or if there's anything you wanted to like see or talk about, again, this is more of a RP, allowing you guys to have that RP session.
I mean, during some of the time spent, like, because if I remember right, the party had decided to like rest up before heading anywhere. So Cora kind of has been doing the thing, chatting with Hawthorne, trying to clear up some of the dead bodies as respectfully as possible, getting attacked by wooden beams.
Yes.
Times. Next time the party sees Korak just kind of has a giant fucking bruise on his head.
Oh, I was thinking something funnier. There's like a wooden a wooden beam through his shoulder, and he just acts like nothing happened.
Oh no! It just kind of no. I just imagine the beam just breaking over his head. He's just like, "Ow!"
That's
even
the will
it's a whole ass beam.
The whole
even though it's a whole ass beam, it's just ow.
To be fair, it was pretty rotted.
Yeah. But
also, natural ones or not.
yeah. I mean, I imagine maybe Korak kind of like between that studying where the demon outpost was to figure shit out on that front and just kind of running like weapon drills and shit.
So, as far so basically right before Tolsimir left, he did he basically did decipher it. Hold on, Glass. Quick question. I'm sending you a quick question.
Okay.
Yeah, there is actually a demon outpost there, but it's also closely related to an actual city. It's not a big city. This city before it got totally decimated. It was fairly like this city was like roughly I'd say near a million people, which
That's
just
a lot.
yeah, they got absolutely just think the one yeah, all those people are
The
just dead.
scholars are like, oh yeah, what about our homes? Like, I don't know, what about these millions of people you killed?
Yeah.
It's a very
These millions of people that, had lives and were generally just minding their own fucking business.
uh
But yeah, I think maybe during that, we're like see if there's like anything of particular note that he would actually care about, like items laying around that might be useful or whatever.
make me an investigation check. Oh, for you might first because you need. I need to make two separate investigation checks. First to figure out. First to figure out. Where exactly where you would find like the market was.
Am I still under the effects of exhaustion?
You're pretty much. Let's see.
Possibly. Is it the same
Yeah.
day?
If it's the same day, then yeah, he's under the effects of exhaustion, so that's disadvantage.
Well, if that's up to you, again, you do have 2 weeks. So if you want to give it a shot, if you want to do definitely same day, like if you did that the same day, then most definitely you're going to suffer the
That's
effects.
the thing. I don't know how long the party's deciding to stay. I imagine we'd probably be leaving the next night because I can't imagine.
Why?
No, I made it very clear that you're because like you were fighting an eldritch being that's like hella fucking old. Your
Right.
bodies can't physically keep up. You have to you basically I gave you guys 2 weeks to figure stuff out. So essentially we're running through
Right.
what you want to do in 2 weeks.
Right, but I don't imagine part of that is the party staying in a town where there's nothing really
There.
Yeah. I mean, there's the Dreads to interact with, but unless anyone else does, Korak doesn't have any questions for him. Korak's in his own head right now.
Like, what kind of what's the information we know about these dreads then? Like the one that showed up and was doing the Men in Black kind of.
Which one?
The first one.
20. Nice.
A natural 20 and then a 17.
So okay. Did you do K?
No, well, KL one, but he rolled a 17. Minus 1 is 16, so
That's pretty good.
yeah.
You're rolling for items, right?
You said the first one was to find where the market may have been.
Okay, so the first. Oh, okay, yeah. He definitely finds where the market was, and more specifically, he finds the remains of an item shop, or was supposedly. With your second roll, the 7.
No, wasn't it a disadvantage, or do you?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm about
Oh wow,
13.
that's still a second natural 20.
12.
Yeah. So what exactly you find? You basically find a couple potions. Some of them are broken, but there are and there is like a couple magical items. None of them are stronger than none of them are strong enough for you in particular. But go ahead and put down 2 magic items that I'll probably get to in a little bit.
Okay.
And you get let's see, 1 potion of dragon's breath, and then two healing potions for now. Two basic healing potions.
Okay.
That's essentially what you're able to find at the moment.
Okay, cool. Like, and that's pretty much Korak's thing, because until we head to like a town where he can actually buy something, he doesn't really have much other business other than like doing his training shit.
Okay then. Hawthorne, is there anything in particular that you wanted to like either interact with your particular your particular goddess, or maybe one of these maybe someone here?
Okay, I did not hear much from that. I don't know what
Oh,
happened
sorry.
to my. No,
Can
no,
you-
it was something with my computer.
Okay. So, did you want to interact with? Again, did you want to interact with
The dread?
Yeah, either the dreads, your goddess, or one of the other party members. Like, because if I do remember, there was a little bit of connection between yourself and Korak. I know you guys were talking. I don't think you talked about it though. I think you were just.
For Korak's god?
I
Uh,
think we might be like on the way to talking about that, kind of.
yeah.
I don't know.
If you wanted to continue that here, I don't. I would be okay with like kind of moderating
I'm
that.
trying to figure out what way I would it was gonna be, because
Yeah.
should remember.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I need to
So there
reread
was
it.
something that I wanted to get to for the the whole party thing. I was gonna kind of open up something with the RP I had with Korak, but uh
Because currently you're missing half the party.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, doing all this, burying the dead and shit. It's bringing back some shit for Korak, and
Hmm.
it put him in a kind of a nostalgic mood that he'd be up for, telling the party a story or two from his tribe if they'd like. And I mean,
Alright.
could just put that in the summary for the ones that miss it.
That's
Yeah.
true. Some lore things, I guess. I'm wondering if I should just. I guess it would work because the two people that aren't here are the ones that are currently, uh,
Off doing their own thing.
yeah, in the RP. So I guess we could continue
Yeah.
Korak's thing.
Yeah. So I mean, you were the next to interact, because the last one
I was
was,
gonna open it. I was trying to figure out how to word it to open it up
yeah,
to the rest of the party. But
right.
yeah, so basically what I was planning was that they just continue making the graves, and maybe you two would meander over as well to kind of see what's going on, because I don't know what you guys are doing in this wrecked town. What are you two
Ty
doing?
is definitely Ty. I imagine. Is Ty absolutely helping burn down the buildings?
He's
I thought we
absolutely
already
helping
burned
burn
down
down
the
the
one that was
buildings.
still up.
Yeah. Like, Korak just kind of chuckles. You want to find Ty? Just look for the smoke.
Yeah, I imagine once everything got settled before, it was just they just kind of pointed her in a direction and went go.
Yeah.
Fire!
I mean, hey, if
Fire!
you want to interact with the other dreads of your domain, Ty, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that I as a player, I'm interested in that. In character though, I don't know if she's even noticed that they're the threats of her element yet.
Well, you've
I
probably
think
seen
totally
the
might.
fire guys. Like you've probably seen a few fires. Actually, some of them, again, were wearing that adventurers gear that was mentioned beforehand. And it seems a little odd because there is there is like for anyone who's paying it. Actually, if anyone wants to like make a roll to see if they're paying attention about certain factions, roll me perception.
Korak's too deep
Too
in his
busy.
own head.
Okay then.
I is not paying attention. She's just like, I get some
Hawthorne?
bird thing.
D,
Oh, dude,
What?
why not?
What are we
Do you wanna-
rolling for? Paying attention to factions?
The other
Yeah,
factions who are
the other
here now.
factions who are here.
I'm too busy making graves.
As in learning who they are and what they're doing?
No, just to kind of like notice differences within each particular domain.
Ah, okay, sure.
Glad that's okay. We'll figure it out from there.
I
Okay. Hawthorne, essentially what happens is that what you see, you do kind of notice it. It's not really important because you're too busy trying to like help lay these people to rest. There's a like you can definitely tell that like from a quick glance, there's a like you can see that not all people within the same like within the same realm essentially, much how like Tolstomir and the Scholar did not get along. Same like Tolstomir Deka and the, did not quite get along with the Scholar. It's pretty much just like you can see that it's not always like they're not always unified. Just quite the same. You know, there are definitely like different groups that seem like they should overlap, regardless of what you can see. D, you can tell from your like so you get back from your interactions with your group. You figure out two things. One, as far as like everyone here is concerned, your domain is actually pretty organized. Like the group there is pretty unified in a singular purpose. Like while the you notice at the same time, like what Hawthorne saw, that the group's not necessarily the best of friends, even if they are the same. You know, like you know how like when two spiders see each other, they could be like, "Yeah, you're my cousin," but that doesn't mean you're not also lunch. It's that type of mentality where they
Spiders
can
did
definitely, huh?
I didn't know spiders did that.
Oh yeah, spiders recognize other spiders, but they also see other spiders as they're the spiders are cannibals, and so is most of the insect world. Yeah, it's always fun. But yeah, Ty, essentially you're burning down these houses, but it's really not that needed. The only building that wasn't already falling apart, like essentially they actually stop you from burning any more houses down, mostly because the fire would spread too quickly because it's made of the elemental dread that's most susceptible to fire. And without the mind, without a coercive mind to kind of control its destruction, it's pretty much all tinderwood essentially. It'll catch fire almost instantaneously. So unfortunately, with that, so the only building you were able to burn down was the one that the Scholar had because his was actually the only uninfected one, which means that if it was burned down, it would just be a normal, regular burned down building, with little effect to the rest of it. Oh,
Makes sense. And she probably lose interest pretty fast then.
Fair.
Can't burn things? Weak.
Wait. Oh, hey, you could help us put these people to rest.
Yeah, and
Okay,
she'd
so
go
we're-
over and help them then. She got
Very
bored
cool.
with the previous. It's
And
like
Cremation!
honestly,
Oh yeah, you can
yeah,
do that.
a
Actually,
pyre
that
would
be
probably
most
be
rare because we
a
actually
pyre
found
would
that there's a
be
lot more
more
graves
efficient.
here. More
What?
people.
I'm sorry, you guys are both talking over each other. I couldn't hear. I couldn't understand anything.
Oh, sorry.
Brett was just saying, yeah, honestly, a pyre with this many people would probably work a lot better.
Okay. Then what were we saying, Hawthorne?
Oh, cremation's a great idea. Why didn't I think of it? And why? 12 intelligence.
Yeah, when we put our heads together, we might have one brain cell to share.
That's true. I mean, like it's better.
Who
It's better than-
is in
I actually
possession
went and
of it?
checked. Actually went and checked
D
her
is
intelligence.
in possession of the brain cells.
Right now, yeah.
I has 11 intelligence, so she
There
should
you
be
go.
more intelligent. But
Oh my god.
It's
my
fine.
excuse is that she's chaotic neutral, so she only does what she's personally interested in.
That's
D has
fair.
16.
It reminds me of Rom.
Yeah, she is turning out like Rom. Just, I don't care. I'm gonna go light something on fire. But yeah, she would. Yeah, if she got bored with
Not burning things, so she's like,
yeah,
oh,
then
burning
she would
water?
probably go and help with that. Like she wouldn't go at the cremation with as much glee. Like she'd like not that
Yeah,
depraved.
that's fair.
Like
That's
she
fair.
understands the solemnness of it, but it is like she would try and help with that
Yeah.
instead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And where's D in this?
D most likely had their own. So D had their own personal.
Okay. So you
section.
threw off on their own?
Yeah, D was off on their own for a little while. I don't suspect it was probably. It's the same. So for them, it was the same day after. So by the time they return, it's closer to night. It's closer to like so. Basically, in the sky right now, it's all oranges. Getting close as the
Oranges
sky
in
is
the sky?
darker. Huh?
What?
It's getting dark. You can see the oranges in the sky
Oh,
as the sun goes down.
okay.
So what was the thing you
So
were
then this thing
wanting
wouldn't really include them. Yeah, so like what I pictured was that Hawthorne and Korak are putting together the graves and cremation sites. So now we just have to bury the ashes or something, make a little marker.
It would be a lot easier than dealing with a bunch of bones.
Yeah.
And it
There's, like,
prevents
some that
spreading.
are kind of put together. But they're like, okay, they're still pretty mangled, so let's just cremate them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while that's happening, Hawthorne's probably going to bring up question about. So it seems like Toastmer's kind of made amends with his dread or something, and you guys all seem like you guys are okay with yours. Mine's still, I don't know where it is exactly.
Yours, so Eva, keeps quiet.
Yeah, she told me that it was like locked away.
Yeah, it's still on you. It's still within you. It is still definitely a part of you, but
Yeah.
it's not so much like in the sense of locked away. You could think of it as suppressed.
So it's like she stuffed that thing in the bottle.
Yeah, pretty much.
The rest of my suppressed
all your trauma.
Yeah, like it's somewhere in there amongst the traumas. So I'm wondering.
Yeah. Because repression is always the healthiest response.
Very.
I don't know. Maybe. Let's see what it wants
deal
to
with
talk
that.
about.
Just repress all of that.
No.
It's fine. It won't come back to bite you later.
Probably not. Maybe a little bit. Probably a lot.
It'll be
To be fair, it's not exactly Hawthorne's call. It's Eva's.
I didn't know it was in.
Well,
I
she
didn't know
did
it
it
was a
to-
bottle.
You
I
know, she
didn't
did it
know
to protect
in there.
Hawthorne.
It just seemed
Yeah.
like
Right.
that was your, dark moments of whatever life. Anyway. So we're kind of going through the things of these what looks pretty evil and arguably still are, but seems like you can use that evil to fight other evils. That's someone mentioned a war somewhere off in distance in the forest, but I don't know what that is. Where two evils have to fight each other.
Oh,
Me neither.
yeah. Yeah, I kind of know what that might be referring to. If it's Tolsmir talking about it.
Yeah, it was Tolsmir.
Oh.
I'm just thinking. I'm making.
Oh, the Blood Wars.
Yeah, he's
Cor-
making.
I imagine Korak knows about it simply because.
Well, here's the thing. It was famous. Like even if you're just a regular mortal, it was famous regardless. That's how big that war was.
Yeah.
Then Ty would have no
is-
clue because she's not from this plane, so she would.
is-
Well, no.
Like,
So the thing
Blood
is,
War is still going on.
no. So the Blood War doesn't involve the mortal plane at all. The Blood War involves all the planes because it dragged pretty much everyone in, and like even if like your specific group didn't like do it, it's like you're still kind of like your group was still aware. Like your group is definitely like Ty, regardless of like where your group was from, they're still definitely aware of
Okay.
the Blood Wars. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I wanted
that's
to
how
have
far reaching.
Yeah.
Because the scope of the Blood Wars was essentially all of the Abyss versus all of Hell. That's
Yeah.
like
Okay,
big.
so they would. Yeah, she would absolutely know about
Yeah.
it. Then.
Yeah.
In the history book.
Okay, good.
Because it doesn't have anything to do with us specifically, but like, oh yeah, this is something that happens over there in history. So,
Yeah. It's
certainly.
it's still technically going on, but like the most bloody parts of that war are technically behind them because there's a lot of things going around in the background where they were kind of like a lot of deals were made and a lot of other things were like, hey, you know, we promise not to do this, this, and this if you promise not to do that, this, and this. That's basically the war. Like the war between those two groups was so massive, it almost pulled in all of the multiverse as you know it. Because that's how bad it was. That's essentially like how big the Blood Wars was. And it killed like a lot of beings. Like so Ty
character choice though is that Hawthorne, being someone who has not been thinking about this for more than 5 of his years,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
not on the forefront of his mind. So he's referencing it in a just a roundabout manner for this response thing that I'm trying to get to.
Anyway.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright. So back to Hawthorne. Just gonna ask that I gotta find my line of thought. He's
yeah, we usually have time to like respond. I'm sorry about that.
Think about it. Yeah.
He's getting around to the point of wondering whether he should get his dread and see what's the deal with them, because everyone else seems to be getting along with their dread, and I know nothing about him. You guys are all having your secret conversations. I thought Tolsmir was my buddy. Well, I guess he is still my buddy, but you know, with not knowing much, not kind of trusting-ish, knowing what's going on with the dreads, being rightfully suspicious. I feel.
I mean, yeah.
But then you guys are all here. You guys are getting along with your dreads, and I'm kind of wondering, like,
To be fair, Shipman's pretty easy to get along with. He just wants to fuck shit up, and there's plenty of evil shit to fuck up.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat, and also my dreads kind of came with my patron's seal of approval, I guess you could say.
Wait, really?
And if that hadn't happened, then I don't know if we would be getting along as well as we are.
Okay.
So the fact that your god is not approving of your dread, I don't know what's up with that.
I mean, well, looking at what the dreads are, you know, face value, you see a snake in someone's. Take the snake out, right? You know, it doesn't matter what kind of snake it is right now. I love snakes, but for safety reasons, you don't know what it is, you put it away.
I mean, the scholar said something like he was naming us. He was saying, like, said something about suffocation or whatever, and it seems to go along with the dream you had when we talked about that stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what domain my thing is. Well, apparently that's the thing here.
Probably suffocation, I would guess.
I'm not into that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very fun. It does not seem like a good time.
You're not into BDSM? Damn it.
No. This outfit does not speak for my inclinations in that regard.
I severely misjudged your severely misjudged Holland's preferences.
You think I like suffering? No, I've had enough of that.
That's ironic.
Anyway.
Yeah, so
thinking,
thank you, God, somewhere up there. Was that Eva talking, or was that distant? Sorry.
That's that's the disembodied voice of God.
Okay, I was like, all right, conscience somewhere out there. I don't know what that is. I think the message came from the DMs. Direct
Someone
message.
looks up and Eva's like, who the fuck are you talking to?
No, there's
A higher power.
Everyone has these disembodied voices inside their heads, and apparently I have several, maybe. I don't know.
They're friends.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
all got several. We're all in that boat.
So I'm
God.
just wondering, what do you guys think? Should I let this thing out and talk to it? I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know, because it is kind of hard to say, because like what you were saying with Shipman, you got along right away, like with me and Sendris. Like Sendris was basically like, hey, do you want to light stuff on fire? And at that moment, the answer was yes.
Okay,
So it worked out. So
And to be fair,
I don't
most
know
of the
without
time.
like, yeah, exactly. So
Right.
it's hard to say if like, since your immediate reaction to your dread was like, no, absolutely, and not. I don't know.
Well, okay, it wasn't
you
my
would get
reaction, but I
along?
would agree with it if I knew it was there. My good goddess Eva, you know her, she's great. Saw that and said, no, he's depressed enough, I think, and put it in the jar.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say without you having direct interaction with them.
And to be fair, I don't know how dangerous that is, because the first time I actually interacted directly with Shipman, he was trying to kick my ass and kind of sort of succeeded.
Oh,
D does not think it is a good idea at this time.
okay, maybe so. Like,
Abby heavily agrees. She doesn't elaborate. So, D, within your own mind, Abby is definitely agreeing with you, but she doesn't expand on why she agrees with you.
D does not question that, and only says, Abby agrees with me, so maybe don't.
Okay.
I forget. Do we know what Abby's domain is? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering because like yours is. Everyone seems pretty straightforward. I actually don't know what Dies is. I'm gonna ask her when she gets back.
D actually told you guys that when
I just forgot. Like Swarm forgot.
No, I understand. D didn't know exactly what it was till last week when we did an RP session. Cool. D went up onto one of the arrow ships and learned what their domain expressly was, the Great Open, and that it is the I forgot the word for it. The domain of the Wright family.
Is that with a W or just like
W?
Wright is in the Wright brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Now you know where we got the last name from.
Or it kind of just goes. Yeah, it makes sense that Dread of the Wide Open wouldn't like the idea of suffocation.
Yeah, that one.
That's such a weird domain. I don't understand it.
I don't.
Anyway, I guess. Well, you guys
like
said
the sky, the air. I would assume.
So basically,
lack of air, I guess.
I can recap specifically what the Great Open is. I can definitely tell you that the person that you met was most willingly telling you explicitly the exact feelings that you would get. Do you mind if I read it off, Trish?
Go ahead.
Okay. Standing on the edge of a structure cliff, below you is several hundreds to thousands of feet between you and the surface. Looking down, you know, a single step more means certain demise, an indisputable end. Looking forward, you can see the whole world before you. Every single person, or building, or scenic nature looks so small. And then you look up. You see the stars far beyond the reach of any mortal, or even most gods, and you ask yourself, what's beyond? Only to be met by nothing. Your gaze returns below, your mind knowing about that certain doom, and yet the thought reaches you. What if I jump? This time, however, you can hear the void's clarion call. Maybe, just maybe, coming here wasn't the best idea. That's
So,
essentially.
Interesting.
the call of the void.
Yes,
That's
and
definitely
also
part of it. Yeah.
also heights and yeah.
Basically, from what she explained, it's the idea of the fear of insignificance, of the great open. Like, I think of existentialism essentially, where you are a single dot in the great vast cosmos of infinity, where it is very unforgiving and you are nothing.
Hmm.
Which I still think is funny that I wound up choosing that because D honestly doesn't care about that.
Well, they're very well matched then.
Well, to be fair, yeah, like, I mean, it's like Korak with Shipman. Shipman wants to fight things and get stronger and fight stronger things. Korak wants to fight things and, you get stronger. They're kind of
Thing to fight.
right.
Yeah, so
It's
Abby's
very
like the
much-
dread of like existential crisis, and they were paired with
Yeah.
someone who doesn't have existential crises, so it works out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
The
can't
way that
exactly
they-
have existential crisis if you don't know exactly what you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
that's the thing. It's not just existential like it's definitely easiest way to describe it, but it's also the fear of like
Heights.
yeah, well, okay,
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna say,
not
as someone who
the-
has the fear of heights, or not heights, but specifically falling, that absolutely
Yeah.
tracks.
But
Yep, that
Yeah,
tracks.
also, D would say to Hawthorne that D and Abby did not start getting along until fairly recently.
Okay.
So it would
Hmm.
not be a good idea to try and get along with this person with your dread right this instant when we aren't sure who they are, what they do, or if Eva could hold them back if they turn out to be really bad.
Hmm.
I mean, we got these other dread people here,
We
possibly.
What do you mean? We apparently, according to that one guy we fought before the scholar, it's apparently possible to get your dread removed.
Oh yeah.
I imagine it
Well,
would take someone
maybe-
pretty powerful, though.
Maybe we could narrow it down based off of who is here. Like we could ask around,
Oh yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
like, hey, who's got suffocation stuff going on? Like
All
just
right.
trying.
What's your dread do? Okay. No, it doesn't match up with mine. Bingo. No bingo here.
So you did meet someone who is quite knowledgeable. Basically, do you remember? So remember that lady from Sonarul, where she worked with the Iris, and the Iris has information on a lot of different things. All it requires is proper payment of equal value.
Well, I don't really have stuff that's interesting. I don't think they want to be my
Well-
therapist and hear all about my struggles in life.
They might enjoy your trauma. Who knows?
I guess if they wanted to write a novel on it.
I mean,
sure.
they're dread.
Yeah.
That's true. That could be payment for them.
Right. Here, let me tell you.
They,
And then
basically, what was her? Okay, Glass. What was her name again? I don't remember.
Laura?
Mara,
Mora.
Mariana, and also you had that one who was here, Ian.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just because she would explain it. Ian just didn't really mention it, but it would
Right.
be the same. Yeah. Mora basically explained that they take 3 forms of payment. The first one would be obviously your stories, or like what, or your and basically an interview from you. Give give information of equal value. and they'll return it, like regardless of what that information is. Usually, they do prefer personal information.
My social security number.
I mean, that is valuable.
That is incredibly valuable. Only if they knew what a social security was. Ian's like, Hawthorne's like, I want to give you my social security number. Give me something good. Ian's like, what the fuck is a social security number?
Well,
First, tell me what
it's
that
very valuable. So here, have
Anyway.
these first, and if you don't know what to do with them, that's more your fault, really. But it's valuable.
It's valuable. But yeah, the first one was information. Basically, well, shoot, I keep forgetting the word. What's the glass?
Wait, what?
What's the word?
Statement?
Huh? The
Like
Irish
pages.
Statement?
statement. There it is. Yeah, they would take your statement essentially on on basically any information that they would find valuable. They eat that up. But that's typically what they pay. You can also pay in Lightner pages,
Which you have.
which you do have. You only have 2 at the moment. Both are considered very rare and would definitely give you something of equal rarity. Information of equal rarity. But right now, one of them belongs to Ty, the other belongs to
Bye.
Vi. Yes, the 2 that rhymes.
Does Vi also? I think Vi also has some pages for something, right? He just held on to them.
The notes, yes.
But those are not Lightner pages. Those are
I could have sworn that
They might
he
still
had
be
some
valuable
pages.
to an information dealer.
yes, it definitely might still be valuable to an information dealer, but it's up to Vi if she wants to do anything
And
with that.
they have a different sort of use also.
In any case, the third and final thing that they do take, they also take skills and items as well.
Okay, so things.
But they only accept dread skills and dread items. If it's not either of those things, they do not want it.
And you do have a loose dread skill that none of you have claimed.
I do also actually, if I remember correctly, Vi also has that in her bag.
Ah,
Yeah. that's what I was
well,
saying.
never mind then.
Yeah, Vi's holding on all the stuff.
Okay. Now I'm trying to remember where we were before we went on this tangent.
Hawthorne was talking to the party
The group.
Oh yeah, we were going to
About it.
figure out what.
Korak kind of mentioned the guy we fought before that offered to remove the dread if they left, which obviously wasn't going to happen. But he kind of figures that it probably needs to be done by someone about as powerful, if not more powerful, than that guy.
Well, the other thing
He
that
just-
I'm kind of
He just said that he had. He just said that he had a method. He didn't say that he was capable of doing it, or that he knew someone capable.
He had a method. So yeah, Clark basically just kind of mentions that. Like,
the other thing I'm kind
there's
of
a method apparently. So figure that.
Hawthorne says that didn't Deca and Shipman also kind of leave your bodies, and you guys were able to touch that holy water when we couldn't. Can I I'm not too concerned about the thing leaving me because I feel like if it just went out my body and walked away, that would be it. I don't know if it's really going to be connected to me.
I don't think so. Shipman was definitely still connected to me, even when he existed outside of my body.
Really? What did they do? What happened?
He basically existed in the edge of the peripherals in my eyes, basically. Or some shit like that. I don't really remember. But yeah, it's still there. And with the change that happened now with me and Shipman kind of being more in sync, I don't know if I'd be able to touch holy water now.
You want to try it? Hey, Evil, let's go find some water.
Not particularly. I think I'm good.
She's like,
On a scale of 1 to 10. But while I do that, He's going to
Basically, all of you see Eva like kind of half paying attention, and like you see Hawthorne's bag just start opening up, like the top opens up, and you can kind of basically tell she's rummaging through trying to find like a flask or something, so that way she can turn it into holy water.
Oh, thanks, man. Nice. Don't pay no mind to that bottle of wine there. That's mine. It's for communion.
Who
I
else was
swear.
it gonna be if it's in your bag?
It's for communion.
Hawthorne, this says vodka. She pulls off the
Wine.
sticker.
Wine.
I mean,
Why is
it
it clear?
says potato wine.
It's really strange water. Don't worry. Oh wait, no, don't turn that. Anyway. So you mentioned something about danger earlier, so maybe I guess we'll hold off on checking out what my domain dread thing is until.
Well, I mean, we can
here.
probably find out like information about it. We just don't want to like
let it out.
We don't want to break those chains until we know what that thing's gonna do.
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, the Iris is definitely not the only faction. They're they're the most safe, I guess, route that you currently know of. That because like it's it's pretty clear what they want, and like they're not gonna
They won't actively target you.
they won't actively target you now.
So that
They-
information
People they
might-
deal with, right?
So,
Okay, glass stop.
not freely spread. Okay. We might look at the dread there then, if you guys are okay with that. We're still bearing things.
Yeah.
Or we've already done.
Was there something Hawthorne was gonna mention about Eva and Tuadras being related?
Oh yeah, we could ask. Like he probably asked that then. They asked Korak like, so our gods are siblings. There's actually like a chess piece or something in there. Does your god have anything to do with chess?
I mean, technically, like
Your
Chess-
god does not play chess. That's
no,
of.
like I don't think so.
No chess
To be fair, though,
symbol.
to be fair, hold on. To be fair, chess is usually like a war strategy type game, though.
Yes,
For
it
critical thinking. So, like, it might be something Korak is familiar with from like the warriors that actually knew what the fuck was up and actually had a brain cell. Those guys probably played chess. Korak did not. Korak just followed orders. But he knows of chess. And it's like, I don't think there's chess imagery for Kuadros, but there were definitely like leader, like general types that would play chess, just test out strategies and shit.
What type of chess piece was it again?
I don't recall. What was it?
Black.
A black pawn?
Yes.
Was that me?
I don't remember if you made this check, but Hawthorne, I'm going to have you make it now, just kind of like retroactively.
Okay.
Roll me perception.
Perception.
Mm.
All right, what am I looking at? Perceiving with my eyes.
Korak's just like, yeah, it is kind of weird that we just so happen to meet up, just so happen to be marked by this dread shit, and now our gods are related. That's too many coincidences.
What?
No.
Trish?
Sorry. You continue.
Okay. Essentially, what you discover is that it is most definitely not a divine item or artifact. It was definitely steeped in dread, but it was definitely not the dread that that was basic. That it definitely did not match the dread that Tolsimir and the scholar Rot were. Very different. You remember? If it was a while back, but I will remember. I do remember mentioning that Iba did kind of look at it, like was the one to look at it before you picked it up, and then it subsequently vanished. So she did definitely like have some sort of thoughts on that particular thing, but she
Yeah,
never.
what was up with that thing?
um. She's like it. It's his, but I don't know how much she wants me. He wants me talking about that.
Is it beans?
She gets red and she turns
guys,
around.
false alarm. It's beans. Don't worry about it. Actually,
She
maybe-
doesn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything, but you can see her fiddling with her ring.
Okay. Well, all right. Never mind. It's apparently my goddess's personal.
Don't say anything.
It's a personal business. It's fine. Okay, so it has nothing to
Okay.
do with yours. I thought it might have been yours because, sibling stuff. Let's go see what my dread is. I guess you guys.
Yeah, let's go do that.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go. Actually, I don't know how to talk to people. Well, I don't know. I can.
I don't know how to talk to people.
I don't know how to.
Aim.
Like, I think they don't like it when I pick my ears. I think when I talk to them, but that's. Oh, well, I'm gonna try. You guys want to help?
Sure.
All right.
Is she gonna talk to someone, or gonna try to like tell Ebo to like try to do something wacky?
Well, we're kind of canvassing. Well, I don't know. I guess maybe I could ask Ebo what he knows about my dread. Like, what did it look like before you shoved it in the box? Did it look like something?
Yes, but it's.
You want to draw it? You want to do Pictionary?
Well, even if I draw it, it doesn't okay. What you see when you look at me, Hawthorne, you see a young female adult human, right?
Yeah.
That's because you mortals need to have a way to process us in a way. You can't see our true form unless usually you cannot see our true forms unless you want to be totally evaporated. It's much the same way with them. I can see their true form, but I can't describe it in a way that would make sense to your brain. It's as if you're trying to comprehend something that does not want to be comprehended. Like, I definitely have seen its true form, but the form it would take to you might be totally different than what I see. So basically, yes, she definitely saw what it looked like, but because she's also a being made of like a supernatural being, she was able to see its true form. But because of it's the same rules of how we can't hope to possibly comprehend what Cthulhu actually looks like. To us, he's just a big ass squid guy. That's essentially what she tried. She could try to describe it to you.
Nothing that you can give me at all, like their vibes, the power that they had.
Unfortunately, all I know is that it was trying to sink its powers into you. That's pretty much the best I can describe. I don't really know too much about the world of dreads. They're sort of a foreign concept to me.
Are you familiar with like these people's dreads ish, the feel of them, and like other people's? Or you have to close it?
Not that I know of. I've pretty much spent most of my time in the heavens.
Okay, alright. I was gonna try and use you as like a dowsing rod to see which one's similar to mine amongst these people, but alright. Canvassing it is. Let's go see if they can if people here can describe what their dread's like and see if it matches up with mine. My dreams, I guess.
Okay. So do you want to talk to people, or do you just kind of want to look at people and see what they do?
I'm gonna talk to them because I don't know how looking at people would really help figure out what my dread is.
Okay.
I don't know what it looks like, so it's not like I could tell by looks.
Right. Okay. Roll me. Okay, so if people are gonna try to look for who's helping? Okay, first question: who's helping Hawthorne to figure out what their dread is?
Korak could probably help.
Yeah,
Guys,
Ty's
is
carrying
something.
the point, so she'd help too.
Yeah, is this something that would interest her? I'm just curious.
Yeah, just because of the like complete like opposites of how like she was introduced to her dread. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
just curious.
And Korak's kind of concerned because, that thing might actually wind up being more like parasitic or harmful to Hawthorne than what Shipman has been to him thus far. So he's concerned. He wants to know.
Cool.
D would kind of be around as a healer.
A healer?
That's a good call.
Do you know healing spells? Question mark.
Yes, D has cure wounds.
Oh.
Why do you have cure wounds? I thought you were
I don't know. It's
He
on the
continues to
artificer
have the
spell
brain cell.
list.
Why is that on the artificer? Okay, that's a problem for the for Wizards of the Coast. That's not a
The
problem.
person is
That's
just
a
a
problem
more
for the mounts.
complicated artifice.
Anyway,
Is
Any
it
case.
just okay? Anyway,
yeah,
yeah.
D makes a gun that heals people.
wait! I have the perfect thing that reminds me of this.
Really?
Is it on
Where is it? This is my favorite video. Hold on.
But anyway, meanwhile,
there? Yeah.
Hawthorne.
How are we gonna resolve this? Is this an investigation check?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, roll me an investigation check to find someone that you think is you think you think you can feel comfortable talking to.
Okay.
You
So how
see,
And
Ian
you
is
might have
definitely
useful info.
yeah.
do we all roll for it? Because the group
Yes.
is all doing this.
And I
The
imagine we
group-
could
yeah.
talk to. I imagine we could talk to Ian as well and just do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Ian is definitely
This
also
is-
like Iris because he's also an Iris member.
So this
We're
is an
supposed to
investigation.
Investigation.
Really? How is cure wounds? It's not there.
Kieran's is an artificer, right?
Is
It
it?
is.
Where's Artificer? Oh, this one doesn't have Artificer on it. Okay. That's my problem.
Third natural 20.
Korak's pretty good.
Oh,
No, here's the
okay.
thing. Here's the thing, though. He has disadvantage, so he doesn't get the hits.
But
Oh.
Yeah, but
Hawthorne
Hawthorne
rolled a
does.
natural 20. Shit.
Hawthorne rolled a
Uh.
20.
Hooray!
That's
I
fitting.
used power.
Ty's just walking up to people and just like,
Wow.
hey, does your dread suffocate people? Yes or no?
Well, like,
Like, what?
I had mud in my dreams. I had mostly mud, not being able to breathe, kind of sinking-ish feeling. Yeah, what's up with you guys?
okay, 1 second. I have to know whether or not Cure Wounds is an artificer spell.
I said,
I think it is.
look,
The site that I was looking at didn't have Artificer in their.
look under VC chat. I sent a picture of the spell list I use.
Yeah. Makes
One
sense.
second.
Well, if it comes to that, I also have cure wounds, so we're good.
We all have some healing. The only one who doesn't have legit healing is the wizard, who has to hurt himself to do it, which is very sad.
reverse
It's
healing.
actually pretty good of a spell. Not gonna lie, I might take that up.
Might take up wizardry.
No, the spell. What's it called? The one that
It's a
exchanges
chronomancer spell.
transfer life.
I think so. I do not
Like-
remember. You're gonna have to ask her directly.
Yeah,
but
transfer life, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Life
Yeah.
transference. It's a cleric and a wizard spell, so I can take that too.
Perfect. Yeah. Essentially, Hawthorne and Korak actually, you actually find that the fire people that were pretty much dressed in like essentially adventurers gear are actually pretty much the easier people to talk to. They have similar tendency, like they have similar abilities to what Ty can do. But they seem less erratic and less, whatever Tai is. The same thing that affected Rom,
Less chaotic neutral.
So they're able
Less
to
chaotic.
then?
Less chaotic.
Less chaotic. Less chaotic. Yeah, they're pretty much easier to talk to.
Yeah, but I was looking for like someone who could tell me things about my dread if they
Yeah,
know anything.
they actually do have information. Like they are aware of what you can do.
Cool. What is it?
Well, if you are you're basically you are the child of the suffocated. You represent
Terrible.
claustrophobia. You represent like singularity and basically things that you also represent in a way. You also sleep.
Well, I love that. I love sleep.
Yes, but the permanent kind.
Oh,
Mm.
well, that sucks.
Struggle, squirm, or suffer, try as you might, your efforts are meaningless. You continue to drown as your body sinks further and further in. It's just far too much to bear. You're breaking, you're crushed, you're unable to withstand this weight in your chest, and you're certain that you're done. Will you succumb to it? Oh, forget it. I think I just need to sleep a bit.
Wait, so you
So
guys just have poems on our dread just like that? That's great.
there
Okay, give me a piece of paper. All right. Of course mine is email too. Should have known.
Well, it's common for us. It was common poetry for back in the day. Um, it helps newer members understand what we are truly capable of. Unfortunately, that does not align with.
Hold on. Hold on. Hawthorne's gonna do insight check. Is this guy evil?
Go ahead, roll. Roll for insight.
It's like I probably should have done that earlier. I think it's 8, but it might be. Okay, well that's still a pretty good roll.
That's a pretty good roll. Yeah, no, he can be morally questionable, but like he doesn't seem like he's not full of the same malice as say someone of the fire line would kind of seem, or someone of like or someone similar to like the scholar. He's very much like I guess you could say he's somewhat chaotic in a sense, but more so like small evils here and there.
Okay, you got a pass. I
He's
do that
chaotic
too.
in
Mail
the same
drop?
way a
Yeah.
toddler is. Okay, that was a joke. I wasn't being serious.
I was like, not quite, but yeah.
Okay.
So he's definitely telling the truth. He's not lying to me. He's like, I don't really care what happens to you either way, but yeah.
All right, great.
He's like, but he does say,
You're right. It's asphyxiation apparently. Sucks.
he does mention though before you turn around and like talk to him, like, oh, but I wouldn't be using your powers in public, unfortunately.
What was that? You don't want me to use my powers for what?
In public.
Okay, what happens?
Well, even amongst us hidden world, you're pretty much prey. You in particular. He's like, I have no beef with your kind, but that would be if you had a kind. They've made pretty sure of that. And unfortunately, I'm not quite interested in becoming prey for him either.
Great. So I'm guessing. So I'm the only one of this?
Well, yes, the suffocated is the only one that went from an entire race of monsters to just one. It's very rare to see one of your kind with
I'm
them.
the only one left, guys.
No, you are the second one left.
Okay, that's even worse.
Supposedly, yeah. Basically, he goes on to kind
If
of.
there's only one, I'd be comfortable with it dying out, I guess. I don't know. Great.
he sort of chuckles to himself, like yeah, I keep your powers on the DL, lest you become like fish food.
What are my powers though? Suffocating myself. Oh god. Oh wait, no. Sith
Well-
Lord, right? I get to suffocate other things.
Well, yeah, you could do the Darth Vader.
But,
Is
hmm
but, yeah.
that it?
Well, I mean, the powers of the trapped have always been very, very diverse and very potent, but it's just very rarely that any of your kind gets to live beyond, a few months without without having to show themselves. So be thankful that be thankful to your goddess. Actually, if she hadn't done what she did, he would not be able to he would be able to find you, and you would be suffering worse than anything that I could ever that even I could imagine.
Who is he?
The Chained.
Cool. Great name. Really sells the importance of imagery. So I'm guessing the Chained is chained up. It has something to do with that stuff.
Yes and no, but a word of warning.
Okay.
If you ever hear the clattering of heavy chains, the kinds you would see on these large ships up above, avoid them. You will not survive, no matter how strong you think you are.
Well, I don't think I'm strong at all, so this is all bad.
Are they freaking Ebenezer Scrooge? Not Scrooge, Marley.
Yeah.
Ebenezer Marley? Oh, I was like Ebenezer Marley. Ebenezer Marley.
No.
Was that his coworker?
Yeah,
Ebenezer
Marley
Scrooge's.
was
Yes.
his co-worker who came
The
to
one who
him
died.
covered in chains, telling him that every chain link was a bad thing he had done in his life.
Ah.
No, not it doesn't. The chain is not quite the same here.
Yeah,
But,
I understand.
But yeah,
the imagery is kind of there.
It's kind of interesting though. There is a thing called a chain devil, so I wonder if the chained is a chain devil.
Cool.
I would have
Alright.
imagined that there are chained devils within its grasp, but
There's
I
always-
doubt that the chained devils would really want to be associated with it at all.
Okay. Cool.
And you there, blood-soaked one.
Sup?
Oh, it's you.
I know you're kind. Don't try to fight someone like the chained. It'll only end badly.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like something that we can't really contend with right now. That wouldn't be much of a way for me to get stronger if I die, so.
To put it into perspective, the Chained was a monster to even your petty scholar.
That's
The
fair.
scholar- yeah. The scholar feared this one. The scholar feared the Chained just as much as he did any who stood. Yeah, just as much as he did any of the others.
I imagine as he's saying this, Shipman's getting more excited, but Korak is kind of more like the serious and stoic, so it's like.
He's actually not.
Oh, he's not? Shipman
Yeah.
actually is it?
Shipman, like, it's a primal fear type of thing. Like, he doesn't know why or how, or even, he doesn't even quite understand himself. It's the first time he's feeling himself. It's the type of thing where, like, you just instinctually know that you're prey, essentially. Shipman,
Kinda,
yeah, doesn't want to contend with this. It's very clear that he's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Korak kind of chuckles and goes, it's funny. This is the first time he's never wanted to fight something. So, yeah, good advice. Yeah.
Alright, thanks, Ava. Thank you, person here who also likes fire and arson, for telling me these things. You're a cool guy. You want... I invite you to eat something, but there's nothing around here. Cool.
Well then, Oh, I never quite got your names. What do you... you are, after all, newborns, aren't you?
Is that what we're called? I mean, sure. I'm Hoth Topic.
Sort of like three of you came up with like fun names. I'm gonna have to hurt something. He's like,
coat rack.
he's like, interesting names. I hope you didn't name yourself.
Oh,
Just wait until you hear my name.
D actually says, I'm Device.
no.
And I'm Tiny.
He points to you, Korak, and he's like, if you say some dumbass like if you say some dumbass pun, I'm going to incinerate you right here and now.
D says, no.
Same.
To be fair, that is their names.
Yeah, I know, but he's just like you're either fucking with me or someone like or people really just like are dicking around with names nowadays.
But can Cora roll like maybe a wisdom thing to see whether or not it would be a good idea to really give his name out right now?
That's why mine's abbreviated.
Because like Korak's kind of hesitant with it, especially considering like he knows that there's at least one demon that wants to know who he is.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
really, it's not great for you.
Real quick.
Well, so what do you want to? Okay, so if you want to roll, so you want to see whether or not it's a good idea to share his name at the moment. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Roll me. 1 second. Oh, ow.
Is this are we still in the same day, or would this technically be a different day?
I think it's the same day, isn't it?
We can say the
Yeah,
same.
we were all
day.
just, like, talking before.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. You got 2 weeks to do stuff, so.
Okay, yeah. So
Roll me.
Isn't it insight?
I guess it's insight on yourself. Yeah, roll me insight on yourself.
well, I mean, like it's basically just a wisdom check. Like, does Korak think it's a good idea?
Use insight.
Yeah.
Or would it be intelligence because you're trying to.
No. The difference between wisdom and intelligence is book smarts. This is not book smart stuff.
This is gut smarts.
Doesn't matter. Either way, roll me. roll me to see.
Fucker. Clark thinks it's an excellent idea.
What the hell?
Well, I mean,
you're just burning all your 20s.
the thing is just like you just don't know.
No, you notice it's only doing it when I'm rolling the 2D. It's only doing it when I'm rolling it with disadvantage.
Hold
Watch
on.
this.
I'm gonna do it too. 20 KO1. Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Alright.
Weird. But yeah, so Clark thinks it's a fine idea, I guess. He just goes,
You cut out there, if you were talking.
I'm thinking of whether or not Korak would give like his name or just like his nickname.
Go by nicknames. I just went by my half of my first name. Stuff
You
like
can
that.
you can call me Trollbane.
Trollbane. Pleasantries. He
He's
goes in and shakes your hand, Korak.
Yeah.
He's shorter frame, definitely. I mean, he's not like the giants that most of you guys are. Given that 3 of you are like at minimum 4 of you are at a minimum 6 feet tall. 4 of you guys, right? Yeah, no. Korak,
of them are tall, half of them are normal size.
D.
Yeah, Korak's like 8 foot.
Yep. Korak, D, and Tolsimir, I know are all tall.
Bai is
Tolsimir's
tall.
average.
Oh yeah, and Bai is also tall. Yeah.
Tolsimir's average.
Tolsimir is tall from humans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
taller than human.
Samir, but then
Smolsimir.
Small Samir.
we have
Yeah.
tall and tiny.
Yeah. So he shakes your hand. You see a crest on his shoulder, essentially. Presumably it's like his group or whatever. I don't have quite a name for it yet. Yeah. He shakes your hand and walks off, does his own thing, trying to help figure out the rest of it, coordinating with the Irish people. Though, it's very clear that there's another fire person there, and like this guy is super irritated with their presence.
With us?
No, there's a different fire guy.
Who doesn't
Um,
like the fire guy?
Well, so the first guy, the fire guy that you were talking to, that was an adventurer. There was another fire guy that he went back to talking to alongside the Irish person, and they do not like each other.
Alright, looks like they're
Alright, so Korak kind of just gestures for the group to kind of move on away from people so that they can talk, and Korak's just like, so apparently it's a real good thing that Eva did. The whole suppression thing? Holy crap.
great. Like we
Because-
said, suppression of this bad things, great. Perfect
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I agree. Yep. Good call.
I'm a tumor. I'm a
We
tumor.
love suppressing our issues. Well, I guess that kind of rules out the bringing it out sometime when the rest of the group. Maybe we can though, but we just have to get out of Dodge real quick as soon as we
I think it
operate.
would just be
Hmm?
I think it would be best to figure out like the guy we fought before, the scholar, we fought him. He said that there was some method of getting rid of the dread or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe find out from the Irish what that is, but I imagine the information would be very costly.
Yeah. I mean, no rush. I gotta not use their powers. It's like you can still maybe look at the thing, right, and not use their powers like you guys have been. Like I don't need to Hulk out like you are, or turn into a wolf. Not a furry.
Well, Eva scratches her head. If that's all you want to do, I suppose I can try to do that. I don't see.
I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to look at, but probably not right now because the rest of the group we don't have our full manpower. Even though we're also pretty tired, we got beat up by some beams earlier. We're just resting it off. Now look at this killer booze we did.
That's why I told you not to lift heavy things, honey. You get hurt.
Yeah.
Those beams were out for our blood.
Yes.
Like they had their own. I swear.
Everywhere you go, a new beam falls on you.
These
What
just
the
like, what
fuck?
the hell happened?
Just materialized out of thin air.
It's the new bridge.
The
Beam.
beam.
Every time you're in like the middle of like the beach, and there's no you're in like the water, and a beam
Piece of
just falls on.
driftwood.
Yeah, just
Just a
fucking falls
piece-
on.
It's
You're in the middle of like
all over again.
yeah, you're in the middle. Of,
Korak's fighting a demon. Beam falls on his head. He just takes the beam and smacks the demon too.
Oh no! Improvised weapon. Sweet.
It'd be like, what the hell is that? Where does the beams keep coming from? Someone out there has it out for them using specifically singular beams of wood.
All right.
They don't intend to kill. They just intend to keep hitting them with beams of wood.
Yeah. So,
Beams, the magical
general-
wood.
There you go.
So, general question then: does anyone else have like things for like the specific day? Because I do have an RP thing for the group with Korak sharing a story from his tribe and stuff.
Sure. Like you mean like
Yeah.
at the end of the day kind of thing, or
Basically, kind of an end of the day kind of thing where Korak's kind of just reflecting on, burning the bodies and stuff. He told Hawthorne that usually what would be done after is telling stories of those that passed. But when Korak, Korak will explain it when we get around to it.
cool. Does anyone-
Ty or Hawthorne or D? Does anyone have anything they want to share? Anything cool, new, anything specific during in personal interactions that you want to get to? I know D, you did things that you said you wanted to talk about generally, but is there anything you wanted to share specifically just before we jump over? Up to you. Doesn't matter.
I think most of what I was wanting to do RP wise doesn't work without Rin here.
Yeah. Hawthorne just has things to complain about.
That's fair.
Also,
Okay.
Also, as far as the telling stories thing, I think D would also enjoy that.
Okay. That makes sense.
I figure, technically the whole group would be there, but, for...
I'm actually going to say that for this particular thing, Vi and Tolsimir are not going to be there for the first night at the very least. Just because I'm gonna let them decide if they want to. If, when they come back next week or next time, and they say, "Yeah, by the way, oh no, we wanted to be a part of that," then we'll obviously have them there. But just for the sake of,
Okay, that's fair.
If they're not there, I think we know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Being nerds.
Yeah, they can just be like, we were still researching or whatever.
Yeah.
Korak's just gonna be like, "Sure, researching," when there's no further elaboration, just to tease them.
There you go. That's an interesting shit.
I
Okay.
got some things to research for you, man. I have asphyxiation issues, apparently.
It's called a kink.
It's not my kink, but it sure is someone's, I guess.
BDSM. Your air is the BDSM one.
Oh God, Eva, help me.
Oh no!
Eva, help me. I'm repenting.
You.
Cleanse all of those weird kinks over there.
I'm sorry, Daddy. You've been a naughty girl, and forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
I am going.
Exactly the same.
Nope.
I'm not talking about myself.
Okay.
Roll play.
Alright, so,
I have given forth my suggestion for a better BDSM one.
So,
maybe I don't know.
anyone else? Any general RP stuff?
No,
think,
Ty's just reacting to everyone else at the moment. So
Okay. So, around the end of the night, with the party kind of gathered, or I kind of think
turned
back
into a robot.
What? Oh, is it a
You
cat?
sound like a robot to me.
Okay, 1 second.
No, I hear robots.
Oh no.
Hello?
We can hear you.
D, it's your family!
What's going on?
Hold on. Do we all sound like robots?
No, not that I can hear. Yeah, we hear.
No,
I hear.
everybody else fine.
I can hear fine now. Well, I didn't hear the
Okay,
robot
I can
sound, but you sound fine now.
I can hear it better now.
Okay.
Past.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
as the day ends and the party kind of gathers into wherever hell we're resting up, Korak kind of thinks back onto the day of, burying and cremating the dead and doing the thing that he'd already done a long time ago. And he kind of just realizes that he never really had anyone to tell the stories to. And he just kind of looks at the party and just kind of goes, I told Hawthorne this, but in my tribe, what we did when we had people to cremate or bury, we would, give them the ceremony and all that, but then we would kind of share stories. When I had to bury my tribe, I didn't really have anyone to share stories with for a while. If you guys want, I could uh, do that if you'd like.
Yeah. We want to
Yeah.
keep their memories alive.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy it.
So the way we usually do it is we tell of one of their greatest feats, and then we usually refer to something outside of combat, something they did as people rather than warriors or whatever. What they did for the world around them in general. And then you talk about how they met their end. So the first one I would talk about would be my chieftain, Carvoy Stoneteeth. He was perhaps one of the greatest chieftains we'd had. His greatest feat was quite possibly the same time that he had gotten his nickname Stoneteeth, as well as the title of chieftain. An adult white dragon had decided to move into our mountain, wanted to raise our town and all that. But we were stronger. We were able to repel it. The charge was led by the chieftain before him, a contingent of warriors, including Carvoy. They fought, and the chieftain, I don't remember his name, it was a bit before my time. He fell, and Carvoy struck with a fury that few had seen. The dragon had responded by slashing him with his tail and slamming him into the wall, knocking out several teeth. At the end of that, Carvoy was the one to land the final hit, the fateful time where he managed to decapitate it in a single blow. The healers had offered to restore his wounds and regrow his teeth, but instead he chose to have stone teeth carved and implanted as a badge of honor of sorts. It was also there that he had fully earned his title of chieftain of the tribe because of the leadership he had shown in the fight. But you don't become chieftain through feats of strength alone. He had also a great amount of wisdom with his leadership, especially when it came to rearing up the troubled kids that would come around. And admittedly, I was one of them. I'd get too hot headed, too competitive. It gotten bad to a point where I had actually injured a few of my fellow, clanmates at the time. And he took me aside and took me hunting. And he showed, and we found that a bear, well, a cub, had been caught in one of our bear traps. And he decided to let it go, and I asked him why. And he said because there was an honor and restraint. That same bear wound up being my sister's animal companion. Fighting with her fighting with alongside her, going on hunts. So that bear that I would have considered food wound up actually being something important later on. was a man I respected greatly. And then his death came at the hands of the demons. By that point, our tribe had been weakened through siege tactics, underhanded plays. Our scouts tried to locate them and failed, and finally the demons got brave enough to do a full frontal assault. Carvoy led the charge, and he fought with even more fury than he did the White Dragon. In fact, his fury was so great, he would not fucking die. As I fought, I watched him take hit after hit that would fell anybody. Like, blows directly to his chest, blows directly into his side, things that with the strength to crush any normal Goliath, much less any normal person.
So, Tolson, not Tolson. So Korak, the way you remember it, you actually saw him like during that final battle. You didn't see his direct fall, but when you saw him, he was really badly injured. Like, dude was missing half his skull. Like basically, half of his head was gone. From his left eye upwards, and he was still as furious and powerful through that fight as you were mentioning.
Like, he had like the entire top half of his skull cleaved off, and yet his rage managed to persist even then. It was terrifying, but also amazing. I didn't really see how the thing that took him out, but when I looked where he had where I had saw him fall, there were only ashes. He died, went down fighting with everything he had, and has always been everything I aspired to be. And that's the end of the story there.
So how did you get to survive all that? Like, that's wild that your guy is.
Well,
Goliath seem very sturdy, I guess, then, huh?
we are, but not that sturdy. He was something else entirely, and it was a sight to behold. I mean, maybe, well, and this is Korak speaking, but if anyone wants to take a guess at what kind of class I'm referring to with that ability to fight even while being mostly dead, feel free to guess.
Or was it talking?
No, that's not Korak. I'm saying a swarm. Like, feel free to guess what class Carvoy Stoneteeth is.
I would have guessed barbarian, maybe Path of the Zealot.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Korak, you would know this, but like this is just for you as Swarm. The teeth that they actually had carved out for him were actually special. Like, they were adamantine teeth. They weren't just like he was called stone teeth, but he was called stone teeth, but the teeth that they made were purely adamantine. Basically, what you saw in that battle, like when he lost both of his hands, he decided to just throw away any regards for his arms and use his teeth to he jumped at he would jump at demons to rip in with his teeth. Like, he would not go down. He was a monster.
In the best way possible.
In the best way possible, yeah. Basically, like, you remember there was a demon that tried to finish you off, Korak, as you were like
as like you staggered for a moment, and they tried to use that moment to finish you off, and basically Carvoy used his arms to protect you, and you watched as your chieftain's arms were removed, and you were for the moment you were actually genuinely terrified for him because for wars like this, losing your arms, maybe you could survive, maybe you could adapt to it, but it was nearly, from what it was nearly impossible to do that right in the field of battle after during this intensity. He did not even hesitate to switch his tactics from arms to teeth just to defend you from dying. Essentially, he defended you from. Hold on. Let me pull out the monster manual for this one. Essentially, what he defended you against was it was a Garistro. It was essentially basically a Garistro attempted to so what happened was that the Garistro, one of the many demons that was fighting you, there's a lot of demons there, and you weren't fighting it alone. Obviously, you were with a group of other Goliaths trying to take this thing down. You were still relatively new to fighting at the time because you were even though you were strong, you were still considered a newbie that would not be able to take this on one-on-one. But but your tribe as a whole was starting to weaken significantly, and you were the one who got down at that second. So the one to protect you was indeed your chieftain, because he did not care what happened to his body. For him, the idea of a chief is to put themselves after is to put his tribe before himself. So he did not hesitate to lose body parts just to save you. Essentially, the last thing you remembered was him jumping at the Garistro, biting down on its neck, and it's trying to pull him off, but he wouldn't let go.
Where it kind of relays that last part as well, and just kind of finishes off the story. Basically, and that's how he met his end. Fighting until literally tooth and nail. Okay.
But yeah. As the story ends, the night becomes quieter and calmer. Essentially, there are some of the groups that were also there decide to set up camp themselves. They have their own methods of some of them do indeed have spells like Mordecai's Magnificent Mansion and things like that, or other spells like just simple things, or some of them just head back into the shadows. But yeah, as you guys continue telling stories throughout the night, it's for the first time in a while you actually don't feel that pressed. Maybe Korak, you do a little bit just because you found out about the demon outpost. Reading it over, some of the interesting things it tells you is that this outpost has actually been there for hundreds of years at this point. From
how
what
has no one gone after this already? It's a demon outpost. What the? Wondering it, by the way, that's Korak's reaction. Why is no one gone after this? This is a big deal. Korak's just confused. It's existed for 100 years. Why 100 years? What?
Sometimes they play the long game. Basically, Oh, who is it? Is someone saying?
Cat.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I
I
thought
heard
it
a different voice for a second. I was like, who is here?
sounded like cat voice.
Yes, Cat is here.
Cat.
Yeah, it is.
Cat.
Um.
Yeah.
Hi. As you fall asleep for that night, um, both you can hear a warm bite. You can feel like just like the warmth emanating from your arm, from the page that's in your that's in your whatever pocket or bag or whatever. Um, they start to glow, but it's and in your head, while you're sleeping, you can basically see two figures. One, both of them you can kind of figure out. You see definitely the image that you saw before when you first met um, them. One of them is obviously on fire. The other is obviously not so much on fire. Um, and they're still judging you, and they're still like essentially testing you to see whether or not you meet up to snuff. So then, you're starting to get a little bit better control of my flowers, I see.
I guess so. Because like she's a little like after hearing Korak's story, she's actually like a little thrown because she comes from a culture where only very specific people are remembered. And to see like someone who she can she can relate to in terms of like combat, just like, sit down and like here is this person and here's what they did. She's like this was like so foreign to her that she's like I like does not compute. I don't get it. So she's starting to like be like, why did we never do that?
I don't know. I am. How come they never did that? And he says so in like a snarky comment. So as this is happening, essentially, Ty, you are asleep at this point. Like essentially, Swarm, you kind of know what's happening here because you don't. You as a player kind of understand what's happening here, not as Korak because Korak's not in the dream. You're familiar with it because it was a similar situation with. You should be familiar with it because it's a similar situation was happening to her at this moment. Ty, right now in like this dream sort of state, you're currently back home. Like, you're not in specifically where your other people were. Where your others like you were basically because to you that wasn't technically home. Like you never felt like that was your home. It was more on the outskirts where you were more comfortable with. And that's where you currently are. And essentially, you see what is a fire elemental, which is super out of place for the Feywild. Just um, laughing and like mocking. I am enjoying the whole situation. Like listening, like after listening to that story. Great warriors do great deeds. So why is it that there was never anything remembered about this particular group?
There was very little purpose. We were a very different people. While bloodshed is they are very competitive and independent, we have a grander design in mind, and individuals can't all they're every player's contributions are appreciated, but typically only the stars will be remembered. Is that not right?
Are you
Tanya?
saying our little child here is no star?
I am saying quite the opposite.
And I understand that, and I'm not questioning that. I never would, but and yet just I don't know. It just got to me.
No.
How come no one else is remembered? Is it just we just do our part and that's it? Is that really it? Because I still don't know what my part is.
It will come. It is not it. As I said, every sacrifice, every part is appreciated, and some may have a place in the world to come, but none are in vain, as each step takes us closer and closer to that grand design.
God, you sound so repetitive. Grand design this, grand plan that. Why do you always have to live for something great? Why can't you people just live in the moment?
Oh yes, as you do when you go on about burn some of this and burn some of that. You are not
about him.
You are not also living for something great and talking about something very repetitive, are you not?
I have admiration for such a creature. He is fire unlimited. You have designs for some great all-encompassing plan that will save you in some stupid fashion one way or the other.
Well, enjoy the moment when it lasts then, Centris. I will enjoy my future.
Because we did have a deal.
We do.
I'm using the power to get to a means to an end, and if you're not on board with that, as much as we are getting along, I will still kick you out. I will turn this car around.
I will turn this car around. I for sure believe in you, Ty. I am still very interested to see where your story leads you. It is entirely thrilling to see what your story is like.
I know that you will do great things, and you will be the star. I will support you and follow you, even if it's from the shadows, even if
Do all the work.
I will support you in achieving your great things. And then I am just kind of looks away a bit, and yeah.
Has to be like some kind of hint or clue, or I've been trying to find out if there are any names I recognize, but I believe in it, but I don't know how long I have to wait.
No. Again, whatever you choose, whatever destiny you wish to follow, so long as you entertain me, I think, so long as you do so brilliantly, I think we can, I think I can stick along for the ride. I won't bother you that much.
I may have a direction to investigate.
Okay. What is it?
As you were told earlier that Goth's affiliations were with claustrophobia and slumber, there are places of power that our domain tends to prefer, and we do have our own throne holder. I speak of grand designs of ensembles and performances and stars, and that is not entirely in metaphor, for theaters are a place that our patron is quite fond of, and also sometimes seen in these theaters, our throne holder, our hand, the graceless dancer.
So are they another chosen? Or are they someone else who's
They are
already done their part?
they are
Okay.
older than the chosen and stronger. I would not be surprised if several chosen did not serve her. I would be surprised if they didn't serve her.
Okay. So then that's where we need to go then. That's where I need to go.
We need to. Yes.
That- it's okay. She has such a negative bonus that it turns into a positive bonus. 2 negatives equal to positive.
You know those people who are so clumsy that they're actually really dangerous?
Warrior type thing.
Yeah.
So, seeking the graceless dancer and her forces, it will be one who knows our patron better than I would, or perhaps even your kindred or your people.
Okay, then that is way better than anything I've come across so far. So
You are welcome.
thank you.
I looks pretty happy, actually.
You may come across your petty little prophet known as the Graceless Dancer, but do find the One of Fire. He will bring you much, much more fun than you will ever imagine.
Assuming it is the form of fun that you would actually enjoy.
Glass somewhere in the background, he's just laughing. Yeah. They're basically both. So essentially, in your dream, what it boiled down to is that they're both trying to. You are more affiliated with I am,
Yeah.
and you're very much close to that. But Sandra still has a stake in trying to pull you towards his side as well. Essentially, they're boiling down. Essentially, the conversation is trying to show you that their prophet or their leader or the one that represents what you are or what they are is better than the other. What it boiled down to.
It's a dick measuring contest.
If you want to think about it like that. Yeah. Hawthorne, when you go to sleep that night, basically you actually don't dream of anything. It's just normal, like it's for the first time in a while. It's a normal like semi-sleepless, semi-dreamless sleep.
Thank you.
But deep within your, we'll say mind or soul or whatever you want to call it, divine cage rattles. The thing that that Iba uses most of her authority on to keep you safe, it shakes violently, as if whatever happened that day pissed it off to no extent, and now it just wants to break free.
Great.
Yeah, it's
Great. I mean, horrible. 'Cause that sucks.
she basically she doesn't say she doesn't say anything to you just because she doesn't want to like worry you, but yeah, that divine cage shook her up a little bit just because it was like to her it's strenuous to keep a grasp on this one particular thing. It's basically like she's a first time animal tamer having to deal with a like a rabid bear in a cage. Korak, that night when you go to sleep, it's very different from the others. It's like it feels familiar, but it feels different at the same time. Like you don't understand what's happening. You don't really remember. It's a blur. Like most of it is blurry to you, but you can kind of get the gist of what's happening.
you like the people that you see in your dream are totally. They're definitely not your clansmen. At least you think they aren't. But you feel some sort of familiarity with them, as if you knew them. And you're sitting there on a chair of some sort. It was designed, it's a relatively small chair meant for a smaller stature, and oddly enough, you fit that stature, and you don't immediately recognize that your body is smaller. It's probably like that of a human's, and from what you have from that dream, what essentially is that you were just sitting there. You're in a graveyard right now. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny. You're not there to like. It's like you don't feel threatened. You don't feel like you have to like dig up a corpse or something like that, or there. You're just kind of, or you're heavily mourning, but you're there to pay respects to this thing. You can't exactly make out the names on the stone. But you spend the rest of your night dreaming about that graveyard. There's roughly two to three other people there, other than yourself. But that's pretty much the extent of your dream. You can probably imagine they were trying to talk to you about things, but none of it was clear to you. It's essentially the equivalent of like redacted, of a actual like your brain can't actually process it. You know how like when the government sends out a paperwork, right? They have a bunch of redacted shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like verbally redacted. You can hear. Well, it's essentially of like if they're talking to you, what essentially it's some form of redaction, and you just like, oh, okay. Unlike the other two, which was incredible. Unlike Ties, which was incredibly vivid. Unlike Hawthorne's, which was more in an inner world type of sensation, where it didn't really affect them, but it affected those that connected to them. Yours was kind of like an odd I'm in their place type of thing. You don't know who this person is. You don't know if they're even a real person or not. It's just a thing that happened. D, when you power down for the night, Abby chuckles to herself, excited to see what you're going to do next. It's the general consensus right now between all of your dreads is that they want to see what happens next. They're very curious as to like they saw the dreams that they all saw the same dream with Decca, and they want to know more. Because they don't know their origins of who they are or what exactly like brought you guys together. They don't even know why they're together. But now they're a little bit invested. They're excited. But as the night ends, the sun rises again. You can see when you guys wake up, the groups around you are still continuing to work. But the overnight, it's kind of amazing because the towns that were there, that was completely gone with that was pretty much like devastated, is nearly halfway gone. And when I mean halfway gone, I mean like they've dismantled all the remaining bits and cleaned up all the disgusting things that should have like that should have just totally been ridiculously hard to clean. You can kind of understand why now the hidden world has been kept hidden for so long, because they're working extremely for like a city with a population of nearly 1 million people, for half the city to be like cleanly wiped away so quickly. It's unnaturally fast.
You can definitely see Earth moving and ground and plants like sprouting upwards. But it's definitely unnatural plants, and it's very very scary to kind of like it's a little bit surreal to see what's happening there. Oh, shoot. Is there anything else anyone would like to do for a little bit?
Not really. This is probably the point where Korak could want to head to the other town so that they can get supplies and shit. Because, like, they can't go and figure out what's going on with this demon outpost thing that's apparently been around for a century or so without doing any sort of preparation or recon.
Hmm. That makes sense. Hawthorne or D, is there anything you wanted to discuss or talk about as well? Or just like want to focus on moving forward? I could have Tulsa and Vi like move forward with you guys to a different city, and we can kind of discuss what to do from there. But yeah.
I just got back. Can you give me a general quick summary of what happened while I was gone?
Oh. Yeah.
I
Like
will be
903.
listening to the
So,
recording later.
What did you leave off on again? What was the last thing you remember?
The dancer thing.
Right. Ty's dream. Pretty surreal. They're very vivid. They were discussing with each other whether or not like essentially trying to pull Ty to their side. It was easier for IM to do than Sendris.
Yeah.
Hawthorne didn't have a dream per se, but Hawthorne was deep within them the divine like cage or divine like barrier type thing, the prison that she had made to prevent Hawthorne's particular dread from going wild starts to shake violently. But other than that, it was just a little stressful for her that night. D, you actually slept perfectly fine when you powered down for the night. It was just Abby more or less reacting in an excited tone, like very curiously about what's going to happen. Korak had a dream. It was more surreal than it was literal, vivid. It was basically him in the form of like a human-like form, smaller than what he currently was, sitting on a chair in a graveyard, presumably paying respects to whoever the tombstones were for. But that was pretty much the extent of his dream.
And then we woke up, and now we're discussing what to do.
Yeah. I'm okay with sending you guys to a different city. We'll have, as long as Vi and Tolsmere didn't have anything to do, we can kind of gauge when that was when you moved on to the next town.
Okay.
Yeah.
D would be fine with going, but D would like to talk to Korak on the way there.
Sure.
It's up to the DMs and Deadly whether you want to have D talking, whether you want to have this on a text RP or just do it right here, right now.
We could just do it right here, right now. That's kind of what this session's for.
Pretty much. We're pretty much moving the text RPs to like verbal RPs for this particular session, and we can move the rest of it onto a text RP if we don't get to it by the end of the night.
Okay.
This is a relatively short session, and I don't expect it to be super long.
Okay. Then I'll wait to do that until anyone else want to do something different.
Dreams and
Hawthorne, did you have anything in particular that you want to talk about? Oh no, did we lose Hawthorne?
I
They're
don't
Yeah,
know.
they're in a different track.
They are
Whoops, I'm
muted.
muted.
There we go.
What was I saying? Uh, where did we sleep? Did we go like I don't know?
I think we discussed doing that hat trick, whatever rope trick thing or whatever, something like that. But or we just straight up set up camp. Like, I mean,
You do have camping materials. You do
all
have.
right, we have camping materials, so like we could have just set up camp and sat around a campfire eating marshmallows.
And more than likely, none of the other dreads are gonna attack you, mostly because they're here for a job. Because
Right.
like typically dreads would definitely attack you if they got the opportunity, but when it came to things like this, they kind of have a unspoken understanding. We're like, hey, we got to do this. Let's just it'd be easier on
Yeah,
all.
keep it clean. Keep it clean and just make things easier. Yeah.
Good to know they're professional.
Yeah.
Hi, Cat. What's up?
How old is your cat? Is it a kitten or is it like?
She just likes meowing about things.
Mm.
Don't really know what.
He knows you're on voice chat. Anyway, so
Oh.
anything you want Hawthorne to talk about or do before we have the party like heading off and then the conversation with Dee and Cora?
Not much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
Can't think of anything right
okay. In that case, is it okay if we go ahead with the D and Korak thing?
Sure.
D catches as they're starting to walk. D catches up to Korak, Bartholomew trotting along beside them, and he is like, "Hey, D doesn't stutter. Trisha stutters.
That's fine.
Sorry. The way you spoke of your family reminded me of mine, and reminded me of something else that my mom would that my mom did a long time ago. So I was wondering, how do you respect their body? How do you bury them?
now. Oh, we had a whole RP on this. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was what I wound up having to do was make a pyre for them. There were too many to bury separately, so I so I built them a pyre and placed them on it. Made a shrine to Andros, and at least sent them off with a decent amount of dignity.
This sounds nice. My mom, Carrie, showed me and told me when her village went through this similar to what yours did. She was the only one left as well. In her village, they would burn, depending on the wishes of the person. They would usually burn the ashes and then plant a tree using the ashes. And
It sounds nice.
each year they would have a different area for the gravestones, and Carrie took me to the graveyard once. And it was very sad to see one area all clumped up together. I don't process death the same way you all do. I'm still learning about all of that. I know what it means to be gone, but I don't completely understand death yet. But know that if you ever need someone to talk to, I'll always have an ear to listen.
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Steve.
No problem. And that was it.
So question, are you heading to a different town or are you heading back to the closest town that was to you guys?
I imagine we'd probably go to the closest town because it seemed like it had a pretty good like setup for adventure stuff.
Yeah. It was a pretty popular adventuring.
What are like I don't really know, and Korak wouldn't know what any other options there would be, so that would be his suggestion.
Cat is here. Say hi. No, she's
Yeah. Does anyone have any objections to go to like a different town or just going back to the one that was closest to you guys? Because
Is there anything? Do we know anything about that other town? That new town?
the new town, the demon one or no? I mean the outpost.
No, the what was that town that had the Tarrasque near it?
Oh, Hunter's Keep.
Hunter's Keep.
That's a little further away, and I don't know if there would be much reason to go there.
I mean, which one is closer to the place that we eventually have to go to?
So going to Sonarul, which is where you fought the slot, is closer, but it's in a different direction from where you want to go. So basically the demon's outpost is closer towards the desert. It's, if you looked on the map, it's more closer north, to more northeast, right before you hit mountain. But there is definitely desert in that area that it usually where that demon outpost is.
Do we know if it has like the things, magic items that we could get, or things to replenish? How's in terms of, I don't know, usefulness?
There at the demon outpost, or at the
How that's closer to the demon outpost.
You probably could, but I'm not sure that Korak would like it.
Okay, I guess we'll just go back to the other town then.
Yeah.
Because we know that one has the stuff we need.
Yeah, we know that one's pretty reliable for adventure gear in general, and we just cleared up their plague problem.
The town that it mentions, the city that it mentions that is often referred to as a demon city, a literal city of demons.
Pretty sure Korak would have heard of that by now.
He probably.
I don't know how that's kept quiet.
Yeah, the city of demons is somewhat protected. It appears and disappears. Remember how Beryl mentioned that Isles Island doesn't stay still?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so the city, unlike how Isles Island just kind of drifts around wherever it wants, this particular city is known to like land in particular spots where it wants. This is where it just currently is. Yeah. but they definitely settle. It's definitely a settlement.
So is this like demons in general, or specifically the Sanaka?
Demons in general. Most likely there might be Sanaka there. But yeah, it's because it is like a pretty substantial city.
Okay. Demon City. Cool. Yeah, Korak's totally not, like gritting his teeth. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, that's exactly what he's doing. When he reads that part, he's just like, what the fuck? Who
Yeah.
me out here?
Yeah, so there is definitely that city is definitely on the way. It's Sonoro's a little bit closer. This city is on the way to the outpost. And the outpost, because from what Tolsmir gathered, the reason why the city is in this particular location is because of that outpost. Because they were apparently doing some trades there themselves, where they needed to drop off some drop and sell off supplies to that outpost, particularly because they had went and gone in and bought some things.
Well, yeah. So basically, to Sonoro to get equipment and to do tactical planning, and for Korak to pray to Kuadros because, oh my god, this seems a lot bigger than what he was expecting. Because I mean, a whole ass demon city on the mortal plane is typically not good. So
Well, who knows? I mean, they could, possibly destroy everyone and everything, or they could just be a city.
Yeah, of course. Just like, just guide me. I don't even know what the fuck this shit. Okay. He's basically just gonna be spending a lot of his week. He's gonna either try to buy a magic item or so. He's probably gonna mostly be running drills and stuff. I don't know if that would do anything mechanically, but
Yeah. We can decide on something to do with that a bit later. We'll discuss it and figure that out. But if we want to talk about magical gear, so when you guys arrive back in Sonorul, it actually looks a lot healthier, and people traction is starting to come back again. You haven't been gone that long, but these people have it's starting to bustle a lot more. You saw when you last saw it, it maybe had a couple hundred people that were active. It was a city in the thousands, and we're talking about maybe 3,000 people, and it was only hundreds being able to physically do anything, and even then they were not doing the best. Since whatever your actions were with the scholar, and especially with what you did with the river, that you cured it, you didn't bless it entirely, where you made it where you made it holy, like you did with the lake back in Ashwood. But here in Sonorul, the water is drinkable again, and people are actually quite quite energized, mostly because they offhandedly mentioned that, yeah, I don't know what happened, but everyone started getting better again. Some days back, and obviously this kind of coincides with what you guys did with fighting the scholar, where it reverberated its actions back. I mean, it's not exactly 100% back to full capacity, but it's definitely it's definitely better. And they actually, in the religious district, they opened up a new church.
Hooray!
It's a It's not as big as the other ones,
That
but
was fast.
Oh, is this like in someone's house?
pretty. It's. Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When Korak sees the new church, he just gives Osborne a hearty pat on the shoulder, like, that's how it's done.
Hell yeah. I'm trying to do something, but it's not working.
Yeah, Demon City, that's doing Korak a big heckin' concern.
Fair enough.
He's definitely just kind of more turning to, you know, his whole faith thing, because he does not know what the fuck to do with that information.
An understandable thing to fall back on.
He, like, yeah, he was prepared to, like, wreck an outpost. Okay, he can maybe figure something out. An entire fucking city? Hmm.
Cat.
Also, like, aren't portals to the abyss, like, really bad for the material plane, because that's bringing the abyss more into the reality and making it a part of the abyss? I mean, I
No
read.
comment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Korak would know that deeply, but he would know that it's bad.
Yeah.
This is very, very bad. Very much not good. Funny enough, Vi would probably have reason to be concerned as well, because she would definitely know that that portals to the abyss probably are not very good for the material plane. Or at least she'd have more reason to know, because she's a wizard that studies magic shit.
This tracks.
That might open up a conversation between Korak and Ty, because he wants to kind of get a grasp on just how fucked the situation is.
Good thing to have a grasp on.
Yeah. Demon City. Wow.
As a rating, I guess a casual thing Hawthorne would ask Ty is like, I didn't act slept great, but that got me thinking. You have two of them. They're like experts on the two red thingies. How you handling that? Kind of forgot, but it came to me in not a dream. Thank goodness. But I'm curious. Oh wait, did someone actually say? Actually, I don't know. Wait, do we know that she has two? The sword one at least.
I forget whether or not we know she has two.
It's been mentioned that there are 7 heirs amongst you, so you could probably figure out by process of elimination who has the second one.
Yeah.
I think also Tolsimir in the very beginning saw two of them.
Yeah, that sounds right. Also, Vi, when she was on the astral plane that one time. Well, not the astral, the ethereal.
Ethereal plane, yeah.
Astral is a different thing.
Okay.
I mean, Hawthorne could probably do the math, and it wouldn't necessarily mean he's being sus, but more just like,
Yeah, all he's doing is like,
Like,
yeah,
offhandedly mentioning it, and the rest of the party knows it's just not that big of a deal to them because everything seems fine.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. That was
Zoned question. Do abyss portals like eat away at reality or draw the abyss into the real world
they
or
do,
something?
but very like it's a similar thing to the dread portals, or the dread rituals. But like a demon portal, it's basically it's also a ritual thing where it would take time, effort, and ability to open. But like the dread rituals, like once that shit is open, it's pretty damn impossible to close, unless you have an insane amount of force or power to be able to do that. It never closes.
Interesting, because like that's a big, like, to Korak, that's a big problem.
She hasn't been talking about the second one in hopes that no one does the math. Yes, Tolsman and Vi has more reason to be sus. Then we talking
We're
to Sandra.
discussing the dual heirs.
Oh, so I was like, yeah, trying to figure that out. Figure out what happened. Yeah, apparently
we were seeing if the party knew about the heirs or not, or two of
Gotcha.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. It was just.
Okay.
My dad wanted to talk about school things. It's getting a little anxious because we haven't been told how much we owe for the thing, and we haven't gotten our financial aid yet, and it's the whole bunch of problems. And it's anxiety-inducing a little bit. D, you might want to cut this out eventually. Just because.
Yeah. So we were looking at the new church to Iba.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I was wondering, like, would the group know about the second one, possibly? Or should we say, like, nah, he didn't ask that question yet?
Korak straight up doesn't think about it, really.
The second what?
How
The tie thing. Yeah, gotcha. Honestly, Vi probably has seen it. She's probably noticed it because of that one time where she was in Moonbrook and she went to be ethereal for a little bit and she noticed them all kind of surrounding you guys. Eva doesn't really pay attention too much, so yeah, Tolsman saw the photo from IKEA. And
did we all not look at that photo or no?
I will let Tolsman decide if he showed them the photo. I'll show everybody the photo. And it's really more for his decision. Yeah, but I know for a fact both of the people who should be inquisitive are currently not here at the moment.
All right, fair enough. We'll just say that he doesn't know yet.
Not quite yet.
Okay, so we're in the town. Everything's hunky dory.
Yeah.
Checking up on that church. Gonna ask them, hey, let's get on those.
On the
Germans? No, I don't want to do that.
Like, oh yes, you're back. So we made a shrine to Lady Eva, but we don't know much about her.
Let me give you the good old Eva 101. Here's my TED Talk. I guess I talk about Eva, what she likes, what she does.
Basically, she's trying to helicopter parent you while you're doing this, and she kind of gets sidetracked and starts talking about the things that she likes to eat. And then you actually start saying it at the same time, as just because it was just like you were essentially you were listing off what she was listing off, to make it easier on yourself, but you didn't realize she started switching from like actual like things that like, oh yeah, that seems godly, that makes sense, to like what she personally likes to eat. She's like, tuna fish,
Well, I don't know if you can just sacrifice that to a pyre. That'd be cool.
And for a second, the guy looks actually slightly confused because you're like talking about like actual dishes that people consider like, oh, okay, I guess is she, because like, is she also a culinary goddess? I don't really.
Life, you eat to live. So
You got
She's zoned.
Yeah.
Life needs things to live.
you gotta have cool things.
People die if they are killed. I think Muse knows that one though.
I know that meme at least.
It's a good meme. Yeah. So you kind of work with the church a little bit, and you help guide them, and it's for the first time in like a while that she's actually seen. Yeah, there it is. That's the one. Thank Thank you for validating me. But she had there's a little bit of like a brief pause for her, as you're talking with as you're talking with this guy. She sits in front of this small shrine, and it's not it's not a big thing, but um her eyes start welling up, and like her chest starts to beat a little quicker as she just sits on the floor, um just like almost in tears about what she's seeing, um for sure. Sense. um because for the first time in like
Eons.
the eons, yeah, she hasn't had this big of not eons, but like thousands of years. She hasn't had actually a genuine um following before. Yeah, like a monastery or anything like that. She's had like remnant followers that pop up every so often, and she's always touched by that. But the ones that are currently from this generation that has barely survived, were pretty much old, and were pretty much old and already coming to pass. You were the recently
Yeah.
her one and only
Sure.
cleric.
Oh.
Yeah. So, God Mom is just like, I'm very emotional right now.
Good job, guys. Good job. You're gonna make our god mom cry.
God Mom cry.
Brings tears to her godly eyes.
Strangely enough, as you see, very interestingly, when she's crying, like the tears, um, when they fall off her face and they hit the ground starts to like grow a few flowers like almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
Which is quite a surprise to the guy. Like, whoa, what the hell's happening here?
God's life, man. Tears.
Tears of happiness.
Yes.
So, she wants to like capture this image. She wants like to stay as much as possible, just to help like clean up and like give some sort of miracles. But she's very, very small miracles that she can manage at this point, because right now she just hit double digits, and she's so excited about that. Like, she's in like 20-ish followers, and that's like a lot to her. So she's just ecstatic about having this there. But if you want to go ahead and aside from the church, aside from like the small religious district where they built a small shrine to her, I believe you guys had other business in getting items.
I think so. I think.
Yeah.
Correct. What would you like to,
Well, I know I have 2 enchanted items that are to be determined later.
I mean, we can get stuff for our party.
I'm tempted to look for something that might increase either his strength or con, like, giant strength or whatever, but I know that would be like probably way out of the price range.
Do you have enough slots for that? Like, I'm pretty
Uh,
sure your attunement slots, you have quite a few things, right?
Actually, that was another question I was gonna have because Zone had told me earlier that Shipman is able to equip as much enchanted shit as he wanted. Does that extend to Korak now, or
Broken. Oh my gosh.
that would be? Which is why I'm asking.
No, it's he can store as much weapons as he wants, but again, he has to like activate them personally.
Uh,
Don't yeah. He it's still essentially he has to like choose which one he's equipping. He's essentially
ah,
yeah, he's an inventory essentially, but it doesn't mean it's
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like multiple. It's not extra slots for
no, it's not.
match. Okay, I misunderstood it. But no, he has the armor. He has his halberd.
Yeah.
Oh, he has his cloak. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
I believe the cloak. Hold on.
Quite a few magic items.
Yeah, you have the cloak of
Place
protection, I believe, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think honestly, he might be fine on magic items because I forgot that I made well, I don't think his halberd requires attunement. It's just magical. It's just a magical weapon.
Anything special?
I
I
don't
don't
remember
know.
things. I don't know. I don't. If I remember correctly, it didn't do anything special. It's his abilities that make it.
Yeah,
absurd.
it's just a +1 spear. Well, +1 halberd. That's a
So it doesn't give. Yeah, it didn't give much. So he doesn't really have much in the way of like. Yeah, the halberd doesn't really do anything. It's a combination between Sendris and his powers as a paladin. That
yeah, Shipman and his powers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have something I wanted Hawthorne to buy.
Just imagine Korak with Theos's spear.
Well, he doesn't. No, his halberd doesn't even do that. It's just a +1.
Do I
His
think
No, I
that's
know.
spear shot lightning.
right?
Which one now? You say it again?
Which one of us?
Sorry, you Hawthorne.
Oh, I thought that some weapons still need attunement, but looking at these.
None of the weapons that Korak used. Oh wait, I believe his tower shield also qualifies for
No, it
Oh
doesn't.
no, it was just a regular tower
Enchanted.
shield, wasn't it?
It's just
Yeah.
a regular tower shield.
Yeah. Yeah. All the weapons that Korak has are just plain weapons. That don't like because both of his hand axes return because they're a part of that inventory. That's why he's able to switch off. The damage that he does with them, like with any of his weapons, the force damage comes from Shipman because he's so physically gifted that, or so physically strong that when he brings down his weapons, it's just that amount of force that's just coming down with it.
Yeah. So yeah, Korak has one more slot,
Okay.
but I'm kind of curious what kind of magic items would be available that would be within Korak's price range.
What are you looking for specifically?
So I was initially thinking a belt of giant strength or something of that nature, where he'd get the strength or constitution bonus.
Uh,
But I know
our
that
belts of giant strength. But which one are you looking for? Like,
well, I would love to get the fire giant, but that one's probably more than 2,000 gold.
yes,
Yeah.
probably.
Uh, I don't know how much the other ones would cost. Let me
Uh,
get out real quick.
Hawthorne did quite a bit of shopping already last time that they were here. So he's gonna check up on the ones who haven't. So just swing
Okay,
some for their shoulders
so
to reach them.
Hill Giant would be a rare item. Stone Giant or Frost Giant would be very rare.
So is Fire Giant.
Yeah, so is Fire Giant. And then Cloud and Storm are just right out. Like they are not a thing that would work.
You might be able to find someone that can. Like, you're probably your best bet is definitely maybe Hill Giant. Maybe Hill Giant.
Yeah. It
Okay.
looks like right now. It looks like Hill Giant for now, and maybe I'll look around for stronger builds later on. But Hill Giant would put his strength at 21.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
That's still fucking awesome.
What's your strength currently?
His strength currently is 16.
Oh wait, do paladins use charisma for their?
Yeah.
Paladins do use charisma, so I could instead get something for that, which would be amazing as well, but I don't know anything that does. Now,
I don't know. I mean, like when you swing your weapon,
oh no, when I swing the weapon, it's strength.
it's strength. Oh
When I
wow.
use spells, it's charisma.
No. What's your modifier when you attack normally?
When I attack, it's strength plus proficiency plus 1 with my halberd.
So you have a strength of 4 plus proficiency, which should be
No,
also.
I have a. No, hold on. 16. A 16 is plus 3.
3.
So
You
yeah,
have you have a proficiency of 4 though, right?
yeah.
What? Proficiency of 4?
You guys are like what, level 10?
9. We're level 9, aren't we?
Hold on. Let me double check what the proficiency you guys are.
Yeah, level 9, we get to plus 4 proficiency.
Oh shoot. Okay. I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're at plus 4, plus 3, plus 1. So that's your. So you usually have a plus 8, right, when you attack? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Well, that
got
would boost it up significantly, wouldn't it?
It would. I'm also down for looking for something that might boost his charisma to make his paladin spells more effective, maybe. Like, I think the general idea I want to go for is using a Belt of Giant Strength to boost his strength score so that I don't really have to dump ability score improvements into that. And
Makes sense.
instead I can dump them in, like, his charisma.
It makes sense.
Or Constitution, one of the two.
Yeah. I will. If you wanna, okay. So the guy does have a belt of giants. He does have the materials to make a belt of giant strength. But depending on the price right now, he's currently set like so. The stuff he can definitely make a belt of Hill Giant. But right now he's looking at a price of roughly $3,000, 3,000 gold.
Hmm.
If you want to haggle, it's definitely something that you can do.
Yeah, Court doesn't really have much room to haggle, I don't think, because I don't think he has
you
much of
saved the
anything.
town. I'll give you maybe a couple
It's
hundred.
true.
We,
You did save the town. He does remember that. He does remember you guys came in and saw the issue.
did
So
he see Court bash that giant monster's head in with a hammer coming down from a second-story window?
most likely so.
I'm willing to give you. Hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna give you an inspiration die here. The DM inspiration essentially.
Hmm.
So you can roll for it. Basically, if you roll pretty good, you can probably edge him out just enough to make it cheap enough, just enough to work. Or you can probably ask someone who's probably good at talking to people to potentially
Hmm.
help you out here.
Well, I think I'll take the inspiration roll, and I'll throw in that he can trade in. He could also put in his chainmail to offer his trade because he's wearing the plate armor.
Right. The chainmail is used currently, and it probably will get you in the check. How much it costs.
Like Korik hasn't had it equipped for a minute. Like he's probably taking care of it at least decently.
He'll probably give you like, I'd say he would give you 30 gold trade for the chainmail.
Okay. So the inspiration thing, what is that? A 1d20?
Yep, it's a 1d20 plus no modifiers. You're essentially trying to persuade him.
Okay. Oh, here we go. If it doesn't work, it's not going to be that big of a detriment. Like it is what it is. Okay.
And roll again.
Roll again. All right.
Because you do have the persuasion bonus.
Oh,
Or not the persuasion bonus, but you do have the what do you call it?
advantage.
Yeah. Which is the
That 15.
with the 15, he's he's pretty willing to negotiate. You did save his people, and a lot of the people that are important to him also live in this town because he lives here. He's willing to like shave off an extra 400 to 500 gold, plus the extra 50 with your chainmail shirt would bring it down to like 200 and like 2,500 and like 70-ish gold.
Well, right now, currently, Korik only has 2,100, so it wouldn't really work.
Let's see.
Like again, like it's not that big of a deal. Like Korik could be like, oh well,
Sorry, laddie. Best I can do.
yeah, that's fair. That's honestly fair. Uh, what else do you have that might be kind of like in the ballpark of 1,000 gold or so?
1,000 gold? Give me a moment. He rummages through his stuff. He's trying to. Let's see. We have a bunch of cloaks. I think you'd be interested in that. Boots of Winterland. It's probably not something you're looking for. Let's see what we have in
Ooh,
inventory.
Boots of Haste could be good.
Boots of Haste. Let me look for that. See, yes. Yes. The Boots of Haste. Roughly 6,000 gold. Unfortunately, it's a very rare item.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Remember, Thales had a very rare item.
Oh yeah, that's right. Theos had to steal them off the corpse of a guard.
Yep. Yeah, I would like to use these, please. They're mine now, and then he eventually gave it to Evita. There's the belt of dwarven kind. Let's see. It increases. Yeah,
We have I have the belt of Dwarven Kind. It's already active. If you would like, I could probably shave off something. It's roughly it's already roughly 2,500, and I can give you the same shave off of roughly 500. So it'd be roughly.
Yeah, that'd work. That'd be great.
All right. 2,000 gold it is for you, my friend.
All right, and then he goes ahead and pays that along with the chainmail and everything.
Passing everything over. Belt of Dwarven Kind. This is what you get. Paste.
Oh God, does that mean Korak's gonna wind up getting a beard too?
Oh yeah, that's true. He can get a beard.
Korak can't. Nope.
No, Korak can get a beard because of Belt of Dwarven Kind.
Yeah, which is funny because most Goliaths do not have any body hair at all.
Did I just accidentally make whatchamacallit again?
Grog, yes.
I made Grog, but like in the form of, you're in the form
But
of,
Korak is smarter, funny enough.
yeah, also a paladin, which is kind of funny.
Also a paladin, yes.
You're closer to what's his fucking name? The Texas guy, his second guy. Shit, what was his
Ford?
Ford.
Ford?
Ford? Yeah, it is. Yeah, Ford.
Ford sound
Uh,
different too.
well, his con increases by 2, which is good.
So you get a extra +1 for con.
Yeah.
And now you can speak, read, and write Dwarvish.
Hey.
Very, very beneficial. Bootleg Grog.
Yeah.
Love it.
He also gets advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance against poison damage.
Very nice.
Actually, yeah, kind of useful to have if we're about to fight snake demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have do you naturally have dark vision?
I think Elias do.
Lions.
No, he does not. So he gets.
Yeah, you get 60 feet of dark vision.
So
now you can see in the dark.
yay!
Yep. Perfect.
Sweet.
there-
So
Yeah. You now have a belt of Dwarven Kind. So does anyone else want to buy any items?
There were things that Hawthorne was looking at, kind of.
Okay.
I was looking at for Hawthorne, but since he'd done quite a bit of shopping already, he's kind of curious if the other people who haven't would like something, and if they need some of it.
Ty, if
I don't know if you can reach these.
Ty,
You
if you
got
didn't sell
Ty.
everything that you have, we could probably. if you didn't give away everything you have, you may be able to buy something, but I don't know if you still have any money.
For what?
Remember Ty's habit of giving away money?
Oh, right. Wait, ties?
Yeah, Ty also has that bad habit.
Oh. Well, I guess little Hawthorne doesn't know that. And he's gonna sling his arm over their shoulders, D and Ty, and says, "All right, I haven't seen you guys go working for stuff. I know you and I both got the cool breastplate stuff, because Ty got the same one, different color."
Oh.
Dave, like,
No, it's you get a +1. Since you have a +1 in Constitution, it's a.
oh wait, it says 2. It says 2 in Constitution.
Well, that's the overall score. That's the big one, but
You get it's the modifier is a +1,
Oh, yeah.
so you get a +1 per level.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That's how Constitution scores work. When you get a
Oh,
extra,
because your constitution went up?
yeah, his Constitution went up because of the Belt of Dwarven Kind, which increased his Constitution score by 2, which
yeah,
means
you
he gets an extra modifier of 1,
level.
which his con goes up. You do, yeah. So you don't roll to see. You just add health.
9. I just add 9. Okay.
10, and then you'll add another one when you get to level 10.
Okay.
Right. So Ty doesn't understand money, but Hawthorne doesn't know that. He's gonna ask, because I don't think he saw that you gave away money, I guess? Or do you still have it? You still know what to do with it?
Shield
Ah,
pays
yes.
for things.
Hawthorne probably does the same thing if just like too lazy to count the chains, so he just throws some money on there. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
So Hawthorne's gonna put an arm over your shoulder and say like, alright, you two, I didn't see you guys spending your cash. That's what it's here for, to spend and do something with. You guys wanna go laser tagging?
Clear the tag.
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
say real quick.
you
I'm
probably go
gonna
eat.
say that D. Quick question is: did Ty say she doesn't know what to do with the money?
I don't think so, not yet.
That's why I was asking Ty, or Muse if Ty said it.
Yeah. Waiting. Okay, cool.
D's going to say you don't know what to buy or you don't know how to use it.
Money is don't know.
Oof. Huh.
D kind of just looks at her kind of in slight horror and confusion.
Somewhere out in the distance, Theo's just like curled over, like his heart is racing, like oh. Arlen's like, "What's the matter? I felt a disturbance in the finances. Someone doesn't understand money, and they have a lot of it."
Wait, what do you use then, Ty?
Arlen's like, "You're just overreacting." I'm like, "No, this is real. I know it is."
He's like, would you like me to teach you?
Huh.
Okay. First of all, never give unless it's a lot of money, never give them any of your platinum coins. The shiny ones that look more gray than silver. Wait, white than
Just
silver.
like
I
pull
don't
one
actually
out
know what
and tell them.
platinum looks like.
Nice.
Pretty sure we got it exchanged for gold just to keep it easy.
Yeah, but we
Okay.
have platinum, but we just show them out. Like this is what in terms of least to greatest, here we go. Platinum, gold, silver, copper. Yeah, this one is. Oh yeah, greatest is the big one. I ordered that wrong, but you know.
D says 1 gold is enough. Isn't 1 gold enough for a room and meal?
It's way more than that.
Yeah.
You can get more than that for a gold, technically. It's like a day's work. I don't know. It depends.
We had this problem back in Barrels.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah. It's like it's enough that all of us would be able to pay for it. It's like a days of work, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So a day of work would be like golds, or not silvers, more like.
Yeah.
More people are familiar with silver and copper than they are with gold.
Yeah. Gold is for adventurers like us,
Okay.
who somehow just have it upchucked by the nearest dread.
Okay.
There you
From what I'm looking at, lifestyle expenses, according to Roll20, a modest living per day is 1 gold piece.
Yeah. So food and lodging, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. D holds up the gold piece. This is what you would pay for modest living like we live per day. This is
3
what
days.
you would pay if you were in a castle, and holds up a platinum piece.
Or like a fancy inn, but yeah.
Yeah,
Very fancy.
it says
Nobleman's place.
platinum is 10 gold pieces, right? Right?
Yeah.
Aristocratic is 10 gold pieces minimum. That's why I said that.
Yeah, but it's not it's just a fancy gold. It's fancy.
Yeah.
A very fancy. Basically a hotel essentially.
Oh, here's a better example. This is what you would pay for a banquet. I am actually looking at the Roll20 expenses thing.
Cool.
Would you like me to link?
It's up to you.
I shall send links. Just so we have that.
Maybe we just like fast forward and it's just D doing the fast forwarded freaking meme of D explaining money to Ty.
And Ty is nodding along and learning.
Oh yes. We can go practice this. Come on, let's go buy.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Typically, no. That's for certain towns. There are in certain times where a singular gold piece would not get you an aristocratic
You mean
lodging.
platinum?
Is that what you said? Platinum or
I said platinum. You just said gold. For
Oh,
aristocrat.
wait, did you say a single piece of gold or a single piece of platinum?
I said for aristocratic, at least a single piece of platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum is worth 10 gold, or how much?
Yeah.
10 gold.
Okay. That's not too bad. I say someone who also throws money around, sorta. Here, let's practice. Buy this apple. Alright, great. I'm gonna buy an apple too and eat it. Let's go.
I
My
just
thing.
thought of something.
Who popper?
Zone, can I put armor on Bartholomew?
Doggo armor. Make it.
If not, I am fine with that.
I will have to think it over. It's definitely something that's possible, but it doesn't make sense to put armor on a metal dog.
Also, you might need like specialized armor for a dog shape and size.
Yeah, I would.
And then you might need also another specialized because it's a metal dog.
Okay, when I say armor, I mean leather armor, not scale mail or something like that.
I mean, it's really more for aesthetic at that point. If you want, yeah, you can buy leather armor, but it'll.
I mean, if it's layered, then it can still stop a surprising amount of things.
Oh no, he's already a metal dog.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Because the way I'm gonna rule it, no. I mean, it's pretty much it'll. If you want leather armor, you can totally get it, but it's just gonna be more for aesthetic.
I'm sorry.
Alright, so let's spark your shopping spirit. What do you see around here, and like we took it to a marketplace that you want to buy, to possess, or to use, or do something with it?
I have not looked at any items.
Yeah, let's go get you some things. We can just get you clothes.
Okay.
Like, cool.
Get whatever you want. Just don't you dare think about trying to replace me.
No, she would not. She's not getting rid of that sword.
And the sword's way
like literally,
Wanna
you
give your
literally
sword
have
like
to
a
kill her.
fan?
You literally over her dead body.
Yeah. That sword will come for you.
You want a charm for your fancy sword? It could be fire themed, aesthetics.
You could also get a tattoo.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's true. That's
Cats
the thing.
in pain.
Or if you guys want to pool your money together, you guys could probably get a flying carpet.
I don't know if it'll carry
Carpet.
You don't want to be Aladdin?
We already have bootleg Grog.
My uncle died from falling from great heights, so I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, it's a construction accident. It's fine. Not really, but it's fine.
How many traumatizing deaths have occurred in Hawthorne's family?
Too many, apparently.
All of
Well,
them.
he
It's
just
like the second
Uh,
we've heard about.
Jesus. Does he need a hug? What do you...
like,
Yes.
why am I answering it in character? Does someone else
Well, now we know why you have the
Everyone
dread of
already-
depression naps.
Yeah.
He's so
Someone send me
depressing.
The
He's so
magic factor
depressing.
description.
Yeah, he's so depressing. The gods are just like, do you need a hug? Are you good?
I do
Well,
need
there's one god.
when I have Eva. She always gives me hugs.
And then she does exactly that. She gives you a hug.
Thanks,
Aw.
Eva.
You're
Man, I
welcome.
miss Death. He was also depressing.
Yeah,
Shit.
she's also. She's like, man, geez, kid, way to ruin the mood.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to buy things? Materialism is great.
It's good for filling that dark, empty hole in your soul.
Yeah. I use it on drugs and I light a joint.
She smack. Basically, Ty, from what you see, Eva, like you can't see Eva, but you can see that like she smacks it out of Hawthorne's hands, and Hawthorne like drops the joint.
I pick it up, brush it off, and still try to smoke it.
No.
Oh, Hawthorne, you sweet raccoon child.
After 5 years with me, you probably should. You should have. You should know.
I know.
spare people regard this stuff. I can cure my own diseases.
Stop it! This is bad for you, child.
It is. I still.
They're
smoke.
doing it.
I can cure my own diseases. It's
That
fine.
doesn't make it better.
Okay, I'm also gonna suffer for like 1 day or so, and then I'm gonna get lesser wound. No, lesser. I'm high. Lesser restoration.
It doesn't make it better. You being able to cure it doesn't make it better.
Yes, it does. But I have to work through it. Anyway, I'm gonna learn how to cook.
Oh,
Sounds good.
Yeah,
that
let's
doesn't, that doesn't sound so bad. You say cook pot.
yeah, I'm gonna bake and bake.
At least it's not meth.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not too smart for that. I don't have the lab equipment. Maybe I'll ask Vi. Shoot.
Yeah, there you go.
Vi.
Dee's just over here listening to this, like, what the ever loving heck?
Oh, I'm so sorry, D. You can't get high.
He's like, how did we get here?
You can't do drugs.
D, not only can D not get high, D was raised completely around children. So
Yeah.
D was always taught drugs are bad.
They are bad.
Then
I
was
keep
never told what a drug was.
Alright, here's the different types of drugs. These are over here. These are my special ones. They're called hallucinogens.
Whoa, 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 whoa! No, no.
That's a little
Okay.
intense to start out with.
She not only knocks those out of your hand, but like all of you can kind of see divine power just come up from somewhere and like incinerate them to like
Oh,
nothingness.
yeah, those are expensive. Hey, dang it. Where's Marley?
Molly is about 10 10
Days.
kilometers that way. Yeah, 10 days.
Just send it to a higher plane just for the moment. Also
Yeah.
getting high.
Whoa.
The
He got
brother.
so high he actually transcended and went to like the outer planes and started
He
selling.
went to Mount Celeste.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
he went to Mount Celeste and he started selling to the gods and angels.
Oh.
Like, hey.
That was fast.
Wow, he really, I mean, like, he got that magic drugs. Like, remember? I sent him over to the Holy Lake.
Yeah,
Got some
yeah. That's probably what he. That's probably that's probably what he's been doing. Like, man, he made good supply. Like, I mean, he got good supplies, but he made good supplies.
I gotta go cash in on that referral I gave him. Anyway, I keep saying anyway. But that's because I keep going another way.
Are
Glasses.
your eyes red, Hawthorne?
Yes,
Honey.
they are. Close my eyes.
This all started with us trying to go on a shopping trip.
It's to teach Ty how money works.
Eventually, Korak just finds his way back to the group, and it's just like,
What happened here? What did I miss?
what did I miss? Aren't y'all trying to shop? What's going on?
Let me just tell
I
you,
don't
magic has
know.
many applications.
Let me show you my magic trick.
Okay, so Hawthorne's high. Alright, that checks.
Actually, let me do a Constitution saving throw to see how high I am.
Okay. Roll me that
Korak, you are within Korak's aura, so add a +1.
Dang it!
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, no, that's good because my Constitution save is an 11. I am somewhat high. I am
Yeah.
there.
You're starting to feel it. You start to feel a little bit more clean when Korak came around, but as soon as he came around, you knew about the aura thing, so you started to walk away from him.
Yeah, I stayed like 30 feet away from you. No offense, man. Just
I just like the feeling.
Okay.
yeah, no worries. Anyway.
Anyway, Hawthorne.
Let's keep buying.
Hawthorne
I feel
gets
like-
extremely hungry.
I feel like, though, Hawthorne on Weed should get advantage on all insight checks. Simply because he's able to look so deeply into shit that isn't there, but then circles back to being relevant.
That'd be
What?
interesting. I get the poison effect and then, because, drugs, but then get something else. It's like not
Yeah.
ability to be the brave. Critical Role 2. I don't know if you guys got to that.
Yeah. But, yeah. So Korak's like, so I got this neat belt for dwarven kind. So with it, I can read, write, speak Dwarvish, which is kind of cool. It also makes me a lot more sturdy as far as like health goes,
Cool.
and makes me resistant to poison. Side effect, though, I may wind up growing a beard, which is going to be fucking weird because Goliaths aren't supposed to have any body hair. So,
Really?
I don't know if I'm going to like that.
I feel. Does it really make you grow a beard?
I mean, yeah, it's right on the thing. Like, when they presented it. Like, that's the thing.
Capable of growing one.
Oh, by the way, Korak, me
Oh.
1d20.
Nice. Nice find.
Roll me a d20, Korak. It's basically your cooking point.
I go find something cool, some nice accessory that helps you, I don't know, burn stuff if you want. Or find good things to burn.
Got a 9.
Or
Korak, you do not grow facial hair this time.
That's fine.
Tomorrow you may.
What do you
Well,
want?
Who knows?
Hold on. Actually, roll me. Okay, so do roll 13d20 for me.
Oh god.
Anyway, these hallucinogens, they're for like special occasions.
Yeah.
AKA birthdays of my past loved ones.
You grow a pretty thick beard, my friend.
Oh dang,
Like
just
the
now?
next day? No, the next day.
Yeah, you
Oh.
roll a 7. Well, no. 13. It's so yeah, the next day is going to be 17. I did 13 because of the remaining days to see what day it would be, but 17 I think it went by the highest, so I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, very next day you grow a luscious beard.
Rick's just like, ah! He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He's not supposed to. What? Where is his mouth? What?
I mean, here.
Like, is it like the kind of beard that looks like it would like at least like go good with his face, or is it just kind of?
You look like you should be a lumberjack.
Oh god.
Here, are you a blonde bearded Goliath?
No, it's probably black hair.
Probably, but you know, who knows? This is an art.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna need a drawing of Korak with facial hair now.
Just shave it off.
With just yeah.
Do you want to keep the beard? Actually,
I
wait,
don't know. It's weird and itchy. Weird, a little itchy.
Just start shaving. You know.
Yeah. I don't.
You want to shave here? Just
I don't know. It doesn't.
halberd.
No.
Get real close.
Shipman very confusedly holds up several blades.
Yep.
Or it's like, you know what? I think I'll just keep it for now.
Cool.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to keep doing it, and that's gonna be annoying. And just
Welcome to adulthood, Korak.
Puberty.
like, yeah, Corey doesn't know shit about taking care of hair, so he's just kind of like, ah.
Here, I'll give you. I'll be really generous. This is essentially what it looks like.
Oh, that's not beard. That's
But bald.
I mean, that's not a bad beard for.
All right.
him.
We gotta get you glasses. Those sunglasses look real good.
Well, I think it's that beard, but without the sideburns, because that kind of isn't part of the beard.
But you're also missing. You don't have hair on the top of your head, or if you
Right.
want hair on the top of your head, you can
Nah.
swap it.
Nah,
Okay.
nah, I think it's good. Like it just like, whoop. Oh, well, I have a beard now.
D, would you like anything? Did you buy stuff?
Well, you know what? It's a 17, so it's a very nice beard. So there we go. Yeah.
Oh goodness,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
actually, hold on. Let me look up for. There's a person.
Not too bad of a look.
Let me find a picture of him. This is what he looks like nowadays. This is what you look like now, Korak.
Nice.
Wait,
That's not bad.
is that the
Yeah.
bacon beard dude?
No, this is Fit MC. It's different.
Yeah, that ain't bad. That works. Like Corey's like, huh? Wait, it ain't bad, but yeah. I mean, I'm not really. I'm just kind of keeping the belt for now until I find a belt of giant strength, or until I have enough to buy one.
That belt looks very fancy. How much was it? I'm
It
not.
was like, with a discount, 2,000.
Ah. I'm not fond of growing facial hair, but I don't know. Looks nice.
I
Well,
mean,
Evo overwrites over the anything that's cosmetic.
Oh yeah, that's true. cursed to be her version of handsome sometimes.
By the way, as you guys are talking about clean looks, Korak, you're the first to see this. Hawthorne's clothes start to change. Like they start getting lighter and like from the dark black they're usually used to, they get lighter and lighter until it's nice and clean and like it's not white, but it's definitely like brighter colors. And it's not like super like in your face bright. It's like calm bright, like a nice beige, and like essentially they're wearing a sweater over a buttoned white t-shirt.
Hawthorne, you're beige.
Ew! Eva!
What?
What? Sick.
You look good. Can't look at you. You look so handsome. Their hair starts to change too. It's all like done up. It's like basically gelled in a way that would like she didn't
Runs her hand through my hair, styles it for me.
Yeah, there you go. She runs her hands through Hawthorne's hair. Cleaning it up.
Oh no.
She does that mom thing where she looks. She does that mom thing where she licks her thumb.
I imagine Hawthorne's probably going to have a talk with Eva at some point about personal boundaries.
It's okay. She kind of it just happens.
Oh, you look so dashing.
So at least I'm high for this.
If you're doing drugs, I get to make sure you look decent at the very least.
Okay. Compromises,
But yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you turn me blonde? And I look at my hair.
Your hair's dirty blonde at the moment.
Okay. At least it's dirty.
Yeah. She does brush up your hair and like make it all make it all less frizzy and all nice looking.
Is it short? Did she cut my hair?
She compromised with keeping your longer hair. She basically she did it in like a knot kind of. Your hair was long enough, so your hair is long enough. Yeah, like a man bun essentially.
Oh, great. All right, I'll have to draw that.
Man bun. Yeah.
Along with Korak and a fit MC style beard.
Fit MC. There you go.
This episode is the hair adventures episode, apparently.
We're having fun.
We are.
Dee feels kind of left out.
think-
Kind of just takes
Bye, Dia Wig. Bye,
into
Dia.
a marker or something and just draws on the top of their head.
Oh.
That is
How about this? You know what? You're right. You do need a makeover. Let's get you some clothes. Let's get you some
Get
cool
Dia
hats.
Wig.
You want some hats? You have to look pretty cool.
Ty, by the way, as this is all happening, you can kind of feel Sendris like he'd be kind of in like he'd be leaning against his arm, like leaning against like a wall or something, or with his like arm with his fist on his like cheek. If that's basically kind of what you would imagine. Even though it's not really quite because he's bioelemental, it's not exactly a thing. But if you would imagine him, it's basic something. It's like actually, it's like you know what? Oh, is my mic weird? Everything good?
Yeah,
It's a little weird.
Mike's a little weird.
You sound like a demon overlord.
Yeah, you sound like aliens.
Am I good?
Yes, now you're
You're
good.
good.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Like basically, you can imagine Sendris leaning on his like arm. Essentially, he's not actually doing that. But you can kind of get the gist of like, yeah, the facial hair actually doesn't look too bad on him. He's like, yeah, it's
Hello.
not bad, actually, and they actually also look at Hawthorne at the same time. It's like, I hate to admit it, but that goddess does have some style. Oh. So you can, yeah. So the flame sword is like not half bad. These two looking pretty fly.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
So I think other than like roleplay stuff, Korak's got the one item that he at least could get that would maybe make a difference. A +1 bonus to ton definitely helps. He's probably going to be spending the rest of the 2 weeks either chatting with whoever comes up to him, but otherwise he's going through workout routines. He's studying the output, what out notes on the outpost he has, or intel on the city, because that shit's a pretty big deal to him. Or he's doing his exercises, running drills with his weapons. Probably practicing a little bit with Shipman, especially in the motion of changing weapons mid-swing, so that he can get the maximum amount of momentum to force to hit with. Kind of like how it's a hand axe is lighter than his halberd. His halberd swings a little faster than and a little easier than his warhammer.
Right.
So what he can do is swing his halberd forward, and then at the last second switch it to the warhammer for a little, see if he can get a little extra oomph.
Sure.
Practicing various techniques and things during the 2 weeks.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Anyone else have anything fun for the next 2 weeks?
I haven't
the-
decided yet.
You know what?
Fish?
For the next 2 weeks, D is going to secretly be experimenting with disguise self.
Oh, really?
One day,
Oh.
2 Tines enter the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ty was a couple things to say about that.
D comes in looking like a small Korak.
There you go.
And behold,
No,
Wait,
because
isn't
of
D?
Because of how disguise self works, D can look exactly like Korak. Just the physical top of their head does not change.
you could throw an arm through him.
Yeah, you could throw an arm, you could punch the face and hit nothing.
Right.
Be useful to surprise someone in a fight.
Yeah. Basically, okay, hold on. So, I guess if anyone has watched Campaign 2, I only remember this one scene, which I saw as a clip. It was really funny. Hold on. So, essentially, D's be doing like this, boom, and it turns so D turns into a big version of Ty. Yeah. She's like, oh, she's all blue and everything, and then she's like, oh, back to normal. Boom, back to back to Big Ty, and then she goes back, and then they go back to normal, and then they do it again, and this time it's a Korak, and it's like, all right, well, actually nothing that much changed. Nothing changed that much actually, because they're about the same size anyways.
I imagine also during those 2 weeks, Korak's probably doing a lot of praying to his God for guidance on this shit, because he definitely sees that this is bigger than what he thought it was, and is really leaning into his faith on this one.
Unfortunately, Korak, you do not get much of a response from Kuadros.
That's fine. He wasn't really expecting much of a response. It's just something he does.
Yeah. I think that's fair. No. But yeah. You're gonna go ahead and try to wrap things up. Is there anything else?
Nothing I can think of right now. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Yeah, same here.
Cool.
Nothing I can think of.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Korak. Was that everything else for you?
Yeah, that's everything.
I'm gonna say right before you got right as you guys left the city, there your characters didn't notice it, but just for the sake of interest, to make things a little bit interesting, there was a person like twirling a wand a little bit. It's more so just because like they were at a like they were just kind of interested. This person, from what you could sort of tell, was hidden in a cloak, but their pigmentation was slightly blue, and their eyes were a very interesting color of red. All right, guys, that'll be it. That should be it for the session.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright.
Guys,
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Love getting little times to ourselves.
very.
Yeah.
It was a very relaxing session. Nothing too strenuous, but you know.
It's needed.
Some relaxation after the last two was probably needed for the
Mm.
party.
Yeah, it's cool to just have our characters just hang out.
Yeah,
Interact.
and bond.
There you go.
Get to know each other because we like.
I
I
do-
literally don't know too much about you guys.
Yeah, because I always do think that it's very important to have the RP sessions as well as like the combat sessions. As much as I love combat sections, like I don't think I don't think our previous characters really got to know each other that well. Because there's a lot of still things that we never like brought up, and there was a lot like things that we tried to bring up in RPs, but we were notoriously bad of like never really quite keeping up with that from time to time. So, you know,
I thought we were doing all right.
I mean, you know, we
there
would
was
get
a
some,
lot of stuff that didn't come up though. Yeah.
yeah. So you know, which is why you know sometimes I don't mind dedicating an entire session to like you guys horsing around or talking about what your character's wanting to do or interacting with the world around them. Because again, it is an interactive world just as much as it is a combat thing. You know, Pokemon wouldn't be nearly as fun if you didn't have to like beat all the villains of said game. You know what I mean? So, no. Well,
I like roleplay sessions.
roleplay sessions are fun. So, all right, everybody, you guys have a good night now.
You
All
too.
right.
And then
Eat.
Night.
Night.
Glass, you want to hop over real quick?
Sure.
By the
Oh.
way, guys,
Yeah.
okay, I was talking to
Oh.
people, but by the way, when I say D is experimenting with disguise self, I mean D is is trying to figure out what would they look like as this race.
Ah, yes, I was thinking that. Like, what would they look like
Uh,
as a person thing with
Yeah.
flesh?
As a human, I actually thought about it, and I actually think they'd have skin discoloration disease.
Oh, that thing.
Vitiligo? I don't know
I
how to
forgot
pronounce
it's
it,
spelled and pronounced as well.
but basically they'd have it where their joints are on their Warforged self.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I might draw them later.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to end the recording. Bye.
Bye bye.